let's get today rolling, shall we? Okay, you are officially undeafened, my man.
Hello? Hi, chat.
Yeah, you are getting some oddly positive praise, my man.
I see that apparently. I mean, this is the first time I'm hearing of this, but apparently I saved a cat from a tree.
I'm not sure. Yeah. Also, chat, just make sure that just let us know if the audio is good on Jake's end. I know it's good on my end, so just let me know if it's good on Jake's end. But
How are we sounding? How are we doing? How are we doing?
we doing good.
Don't act modest now.
Yeah, modest is a way of life for us. It's definitely a way of life.
I should have got a fedora for this occasion.
Nah, the fedora is kind of my thing.
No, you know what would have been funny if you showed up with like a bunch of chains and like a baseball hat.
I actually do have some chains, but they're back in my house. Okay, apparently you're sounding good, so I guess it's safe to go.
Beautiful.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all the fellow pokeNERDS of the world, welcome to the pokeNERDS Incorporated podcast, a Pokemon exclusive podcast just for us pokeNERDS to sit down, relax, and get to know other fellow Pokemon content creators in the Pokemon community. Whoa! Did you see that?
Yeah, you got a ghost in your house, my dude.
No, I got a couple of crazy animals.
Oh my god. That door just like swung open.
Yeah, I got a couple of crazy animals. I am your host, your man Spence of the Poké Network.
Good start, good start.
Yeah, it's always a good start. But, ladies and gentlemen, you should know the guest, but if you don't, let me introduce you to him. He is a Nuzlocking he's a shiny hunting aficionado. He is also a loving cat dad like me, and is the biggest whopper, double, triple whopper fan of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Jake, aka ItsYellowSnow.
It's a pleasure to be on. It's about time I responded to your DM and hopped on.
Just so you guys understand this, Jake was initially in my first round pool of guests all the way back in season 1, but this guy never fucking responds to his DMs, so it took 2 fucking years to get him on the show. So let this be reach. Yes, let this be a lesson to all those in chat and the world who see this. Respond to your DMs if you want to be on something like this. You never know when it'll come.
That's very true. This was on me. Completely on me.
But hey, Jake, regardless of how we got here, I want to thank you again for taking the time out of your day to join me here on pokeNERDS Inc. so I can pick your brain on what makes you the pokeNerd that you are.
I'm glad to be here. Let's get it rolling.
And also
what you got for me?
Yeah, and also I'll note that this is Sevi Boy number 2 I have interviewed. All I need to do is interview the 3rd one now.
Mm-hmm.
So
hey, you're 2 out of 3.
Yep, maybe you'll see him on season 5, maybe season 6. I don't know, but he's on the brain. But yeah, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, Sevi Boys are referring to John, Power Punch Plays, Jake, ItsYellowSnow, and Josh, aka Mencino Bro. So that's what we're talking about. If you don't know who Sevi Boys are, go join their Discord.
Beautiful. Love the plug.
Hey, I'm in the Discord. I might as well plug it. Oh, and also, guys, I got my bow tie back. I forgot the bow tie for my last podcast, so now I got my bow tie back.
Hell yeah. Love that.
Yeah. All right.
I meant to ask you, you don't really care about like cursing and stuff on your channel, do you?
Absolutely not. You can curse all you want.
Beautiful. I just didn't want to step on any toes. I'm known as a bit of a potty mouth, so.
I literally had the biggest potty mouth of potty mouths on this show, and even he tried to keep it tame. So let's see how unhinged you can get.
Oh God, don't challenge me.
We'll see. We'll see.
You asked me for those clips earlier, and every clip I found had me cursing at least twice in it. So I sent you the best ones I could.
Like I said, I didn't watch them yet, so I don't know what the heck you sent me. I
Oh,
just know
okay,
it's like
beautiful.
all I know is the titles, so that's pretty much what we're gonna rack about. But anyway, Jake, we like to start the show off by you and us giving a basic intro. So basically, explain who you are, what types of content you produce, and give us a retrospective of your Twitch journey, like what got you into it, where you started, and just train along to where you are now. So, Jake, you have the floor. Let us know about ItsYellowSnow.
All right, so my creation journey actually began when I was a little kid.
Hmm,
Um, watching YouTube back in 2010, 2011,
the
and
good old days.
yeah, the good old days. Yeah, like real early, like Minecraft was what I was watching, and I was like, wow, I can't believe people get paid to play video games. And I've always been an entertainer. I've always been funny, so I naturally gravitated towards creating content. And I never really had the, I guess, motivation to start it until I found Twitch, which was in 2017, I think. And I made an account and I started streaming Fortnite mainly for a couple years. Um, because at that time I didn't really play much Pokemon. I hadn't touched Pokemon since 2008, 2009. So I went almost a whole decade without touching Pokemon. I missed a lot of big things. I missed what, like 3, 4 generations of Pokemon. Um, and eventually, I believe it was 2019. I started watching some Pokemon streamers, and I started watching the anime again. I started collecting cards again, and it slowly built up. And then I was like, why don't I just stream Pokemon? And I discovered shiny hunting, which, as you know, is a huge part of the content creation scene for Pokemon. I mean, almost everyone is shiny hunting or doing Nuzlocks or anything of the sort. I've never been good at battling. I don't understand half the mechanics. Um, kind of ignorant to a lot of it. I was always a button masher, just spam A and B through everything,
If you
pick the
don't
attack
understand
with
the
the most damage.
like, if you don't understand the mechanics, then how the heck do you actually clear through the games?
Oh, you'd be surprised. Just sheer luck and determination. Spamming, the most powerful move I can find, over leveling my Pokemon, stuff like that.
Oh God. I mean,
I
everyone's got their
tried
play style.
one. Yeah, exactly. And you know what, shiny hunting, I don't have to be good at anything. I just, the only thing you really have to have, which I have a lot of, is patience. I have a ton of patience. As you know, I know you've had some really long hunts. You know how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, we all know. Everyone's got their one hunt that they spent so much time on, and then afterwards they're like, "Yeah, I think I'm good."
Yeah. Yeah, what do they call it? The white whale, the thing you chase for a long time, and eventually you get it.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what it's called. Everyone's got their white whale.
Yours was what was it? What was your white whale that you eventually
Darkrai.
got? Darkrai, which is ironic because you're the dark Pokemon specialist.
Yeah.
Just makes that all the more ironic.
Yeah, and yours is currently Dialga right now.
Oh God, yeah, yeah. We don't even get me started. I actually did some research on Dialga Dynamax Adventures, and the longest ever Dynamax adventure for Dialga that I could find evidence of was 606 Dynamax Adventures without the shiny. So I'm aiming for that. Yeah, over on my channel we call him Evil Larry. we don't even call him Dialga anymore. But I'm creeping in on 600. I mean, I might just get to it. I might pass it. It might be the longest Dialga hunt ever recorded. So at least that's kind of cool.
John just roasted me in the chat right there, saying my reaction was fake.
God, John.
Well, at least I didn't dress up in a panda suit looking for a stupid little brown panda.
Oh my god. You know what's funny too? I have that picture of John with the panda cosplay, and I have it on my Streamlabs. So every once in a while, I'll just pull it up.
I got it saved to my phone, so if I ever need a laugh.
Oh, it's a good one.
It's definitely a good one. But anyway, back to your story on your creation journey.
So, I refell in love with Pokemon. You know, a lot of it is nostalgia, which I feel like a lot of people feel towards Pokemon specifically. Um, it's it's always been something that takes me back to a simpler time in my life, as I'm sure it does you and a lot of other people.
Mm-hmm.
Takes you back to when you were a kid. You know, you go to the store and you know, get cards and the excitement of you know beating a gym and just falling in love with like the characters that are Pokemon. You know, I think a lot of times people stray away from why they fell in love with Pokemon in the first place. But every time I think back to like being a kid and being, you know, in the back seat of the car with my, you know, DS or my, you know, Game Boy Advance or whatever, it just like it brings me such happiness. And like the fact that I get to do it now as an adult, now that I have adult money and I can just buy myself whatever games and you know, like I'm making the childhood in me happy, you know, like the younger me would be proud of what I am now.
I think my younger self would be proud of my bigger self too, because like I remember the first time I put in Pokemon Platinum in my DS. It was in the back of my mom's car like 10 minutes after I bought it, and I'm doing a randomizer in Platinum right now, and I'm just re-enjoying the whole experience, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I love that.
So you started out in 2019. Like, where did you get the ball rolling? What did you start out doing?
So at that time, I believe that was just when Sword and Shield got released, right? I believe it was 2019.
I think it
Or
was 2018. I think
was it
no,
2018?
no
It might
2019.
have
Yeah,
been a
you're
year.
correct.
It was
2019. You're
2019. Okay.
correct.
The first thing I got was Pokemon Sword.
Hmm.
I actually had a coworker that had a Switch and he had Sword. And at that point, I didn't even own like a Nintendo product. So I had traded him an old gaming laptop that I had that was worth way more than the Switch in the game. But I just traded it to him for the Switch and Pokemon Sword. Uh, I played through it one time. I'm like, yeah, this game's okay. You know, this is not the Pokemon that I grew up with. But over time, like I kind of slowly fell in love with it. And I was like, wow, like this game has a lot of character to it. Um, the more I play it, and I've played a lot of it, trust me, doing Dynamax Adventures and the DLC, and I played through the game multiple times. Like I love that game.
I on record
Absolutely
have
love it.
I on record have played Sword and Shield 5 times each. 5 times with Sword, 5 times with Shield.
That's great. What doing like Nuzlocks and stuff? Or like
No,
specific runs?
Nuzlocke, specific runs, trying different teams out. Just
Yeah. And that's what's so fun about Pokemon is you can kind of like do your journey however you want to do it. You know, there's so much room to be creative and use, you know, underrated Pokemon, which is one of my favorite things. You know, you run a
Yep.
team with I don't know, Luminion and you know, Cube. You get a Cubone somewhere, and just have like a ragtag team of misfits. You know, and it's just that's your own team, and it's your own journey, and every journey in Pokemon is different. You know.
Yep. Yep. I can contest to that full heartedly. Alrighty. So, for those of y'all on Jake's side who are unfamiliar with me, let me introduce myself again. I am Spence. This is the Poke Network. I classify myself as a variety Pokemon streamer because I stream all types of Pokemon content, but I specialize in shiny hunting and Nuzlocks. And also, I'm a podcast host, obviously. So what got me into creation was kind of like similar to you, just watching a crap ton of Pokemon videos, whether they were shiny hunting, Nuzlocke, solo runs, like stuff like that, all the way back in like the 2010s and whatnot. The biggest creator that I like fell in love with, and I still watch his content to this day, is M&J TV. Loved his videos ever since I was a kid. I was watching them when I was in college. I'm watching them now as a 28-year-old male. I was like, I grew up watching this guy kind of. So it's like, wow. uh, so so what got me on my content creation journey was like a kind of a I was like, it was like this. It was 2019. I had been living in the state I'm living in now for about 2 years, and I'm like, there's got to be more I can be doing with my life that goes beyond what I'm doing with my work. Because I was an industrial slave doing factory work, so I was like, what am I going to do? So I was like, I'm inspired to share my love of Pokemon with people because I want to start doing these, like, do what other people do. Do it randomizers, do collabs, do soul links. I want to start doing that type of stuff, but I don't know where to start. So what I did was I actually reached out and emailed M&J TV to see if he can give me some pointers on how to start up. To my shock and amazement, he responded. Whether it was him or somebody that controls his email, like, it doesn't matter as long as I got some sort of response. Which I thought was like super heartwarming because now this guy's like top tier, my favorite creator now. But anyway, um I didn't actually start doing streaming until COVID happened, because that's when the little bit of money from the government came into our bank accounts.
Yes, the stimmy checks.
Yeah, the stimmy checks. So I literally just poured the like my first stimulus into my startup PC, which was a rinky dink one monitor setup with a piece of shit camera,
Hmm.
and like just start like I have completely changed my PC since I started. Like I've changed out the CPU, the GPU, added more RAM, like almost everything in my computer now is different than when I started. but but when I started streaming, I started streaming when the Isle of Armor DLC released, and I mainly did shiny hunting for a little bit until I did a wonders slash surprise lock in Shield to start off like my Nuzlocking journey on screen. And then I did the Crown Tundra DLC, and then then I started doing DAs. And for the first 6 months of my journey, like I genuinely didn't know what the hell I was doing. Even with the information that I got from MJ TV, I still didn't know what the hell I was doing because I was really bad integrating on social media and whatnot. Like I got a clip from the old days that probably would have gone viral on Twitter if I posted to Twitter, but I didn't know how to post. I didn't know how to post videos to Twitter, so it's like, damn, I could have made an impact, but no.
A
But
lot of missed opportunities early on. I have a lot of those clips too, where it's just real bare bones. It sounds like you're using a walkie-talkie, and the camera quality is awful.
ugh,
And something stupid happens, and you're just aloof because you have no idea what you're doing. I've
yeah,
definitely been there. Everybody starts somewhere, though.
yeah, exactly. So it wasn't actually until John rated me for the first time, and so I got more open eyed to what Twitch really was. And then finally, I got affiliated in January 2021, and it just snowballed from there. I did finally started doing randomizers. I did more Nuzlocks. I started doing, more shiny hunting, community shiny hunting events. Just trying to, you know, collab and integrate and network with as many of the Pokemon peeps out there as possible, and it all just snowballed to what we are today.
Yeah, absolutely. What's funny is that's how I originally found your stream. Was I was in a Power Punch Plays stream, and he rated you. And I'm like, wow, this guy is like off the walls, like entertaining. He's putting like a ton of effort into it. And as a creator, when you see other creators doing that, it's like, it shows. A lot of people that watch might not understand how much goes into even having something simple like what I have, whereas you have um, a lot of moving pieces and you put a lot of effort into your stuff. And I'm like, wow, this guy like really, he's going for it. So I had a lot of admiration for that, and it's been fun to watch your journey.
It's been fun to watch yours as well. But as Tallahassee would put it, nut up or shut up.
Hmm. It's true. Yeah, I mean, you gotta do what you can. You gotta put effort in. You can't half-ass it. You're not gonna get anywhere half-assing it.
Yeah, especially when I go into my Dark King persona, like I either go, all in or not at all, because I can't half-ass that character. I have to go
Oh
all
no.
in.
Yeah, and it's believable when you go all in. It kind of adds to the experience that people get when they come in.
Yeah, that's what I like to. That's kind of impression I like to leave on people when they see me, whether I'm myself or whether I'm playing my Dark King character. It's like I want people to see me for who I am, and I try to do the best to put that out.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so I really like. You're probably like out of all the channel names that have come across PokeNERDS Inc. I think yours personally. I think yours is the most unique. So why did you go with ItsYellowSnow? Where'd
I'm
that come from?
I'm so glad you asked. Um, because my name is funny, I've been asked this question a million times.
Yeah, put it out there.
Um,
Like, set it straight for the
mhm.
record for the whole world.
So long time ago, I think PlayStation 3. Um, I had got it for I want to say it was my birthday or Christmas or something of the sort, and I needed to create an account, and I wanted to think of an interesting name because at that point, a couple of my older cousins, they were all creating their names, and their names were cool, and I'm like, I gotta be creative and like do something funny. And keep in mind, I don't know, 12, 11, maybe like 10. I don't know. I was a very young kid. Um, and I thought of like the idea of yellow snow, like someone peeing in snow. It's just funny to me when you're a naive, 11-year-old. You think stupid stuff like that is funny. You think farts are funny. So it just became a thing, and it was actually originally Yellow Snow 82. I don't know where the 82 came from, but I guess the other ones were taken. I have no idea. And then with time, I changed it to It's Yellow Snow because I can't have just Yellow Snow because there's no way on Twitch of getting a name that's already taken, even though it's been a dead channel for you know 7 or 8 years. Still can't have it.
Similar to my story, but I'll go on as. But we'll get to mine. But you have an interesting story because you suffered from the same thing I dealt with, mispronunciation, because you didn't capitalize any part of your
Hmm.
name until like a few years ago. So
Yeah, I had to change it. Yep.
yeah, how long did you deal with the name mispronunciations until you capitalized your name?
To be fair, it wasn't that bad. Dan. um, to be fair, I didn't really hear it's yellows now because like what that doesn't even make sense. I don't understand how people mess that up. But I only got that maybe 2 or 3 times, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm not like I got to change this. This is not working. I can't have this happening. This is it irritated me." So I went in there and I didn't realize you could capitalize your name or like certain parts of your name. I didn't know that. So I went in there and did that, and now it looks a lot cleaner. I don't think I've had a single person mess it up. So thank God for
Kudos,
capitalization.
yeah, kudos to you for that working for you, but it never worked for me.
Oh yeah, I remember they used to call you Spoke Network a lot. I remember that one in particular. Yeah.
Ugh, the worst I got calling was spoken.
Spoken.
Yeah, like it's my name had network in it and S poke in front of it, so people just thought the N was separate. It's like, what the heck is wrong with
Oh yeah. But you also have to keep in mind that, when you rate into someone or you're going to someone's chat for the first time, they have streamer brain. So they're trying to read these random names, and Lord knows I've butchered. I mean butchered. Even some like
yes.
easy names, we all
Yeah.
have.
Yes, I have as well. I'm guilty of that myself.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, most of you, I mean, from Jake's community, you may not know this, but the Poké Network's not my original channel name. Jake knows this. You guys may not. But my original channel name was S Poké Network, and here's where that came into play, or here's the story about that. So when I knew I wanted to become a content creator, I knew I wanted Pokey to be my username because I wanted people to identify me as a Pokemon content creator guy. So, what happened was I needed something else in my name, and when I went to college, I was going for college for business administration, and I don't know if you know this, but in business there's a lot, and well, specifically business college classes, there's a lot of group projects because you have to integrate with people, team up, and just network with them. So I was like, Poké Network, that fits. So just like you, I can't just have Poké Network because it's already taken by some random account,
Hmm.
and I don't
Hasn't
know
been
what to do.
used since 2012.
Probably not.
Yep.
So at the time, I didn't think of the because I thought it was just too generic. But sometimes
Hmm.
generic would have worked because the S. S is
Yeah.
my first initial, my first name, my real first name is Spencer. So S is just
Hmm.
my initial. What I failed to understand was that on the social platforms, I can put a hyphen in my name, so people could just say S Pokey Network. On
Hmm.
Twitch, you can't use hyphens, and I don't like using underscores. So the S and the
Yeah.
P,
Underscores look awful.
yeah, and the S and the P were capitalized next to each other in my name, so people thought I was called Spoken Network, Spokey, Spoken,
Hmm.
S Poke. Like even Pokemon content creators who I've raided into in the past got my name wrong.
Oh
So
yeah. I mean, I used to purposely butcher it because
yeah,
I
I
knew
know. Yeah, I
it
know you
bothered
did.
you.
That's why I butchered yours purposely as well because I know it bothered you.
Hmm.
So
Yep.
So after 2 years of it, I was like, I'm done. Actually, about 2.5 years, I'm like, I'm done. So in 2023, I rebranded to The, and it's been a positive, positive change ever since. I don't feel like an outlier. I feel like one of the crowd, and people identify me more, professionally, which I like.
Absolutely. I remember when you rebranded, and I was like, yeah, he's definitely sick and tired of people calling him, spoke and spoken and stuff.
I
I knew it
remember
got to you eventually.
Yeah, I know. And I remember like the day after I rebranded, John was streaming and I came into his chat and you're just like, oh, hey, yes, hey, Spokey. And I'm like, that's not my name anymore.
Real ones never forget.
The OGs always understand. All right. So with the Twitch formalities out of the way, let's get into the nitty gritty on what makes you the Poke nerd that you are. So how did Whooper steal your heart? I want to know because you're like the only guy I know who is really, really, really likes Whooper. So just give us the story.
Okay, so the reason why I am such a huge fan of Wooper was because my original favorite Pokemon from when I was a kid, back when I played, Sapphire, Ruby, Emerald, you know, the first Pokemon games I actually finished. Um, I absolutely loved Flygon. Flygon was my original favorite Pokemon. Was for a long time. Even when I was on my Pokemon hiatus, if someone randomly asked me what my favorite Pokemon was, I would say Flygon. Um, but when I started getting back into Pokemon, I was watching the anime, and there's a couple episodes where Wooper was in there, and I was like, wow, it's just so cute. And then I randomly started seeing it in games, and I was like, wow, I don't know, I was just drawn to it. It was so cute and like just derpy, the eyes far apart, the big smile. It just appealed to me. I don't know why. I think it's the same reason why people like Ditto. It has the eyes far apart and the big smile, and it's just goofy looking, and it's perfect. I love Wooper. I actually have a little show you behind me here. I have a little Wooper shrine. It has things that were made for me that were Wooper related. Like I have like a Wooper like bottle opener. I have here I have this is one of my favorite things to show. Let me show you. This is actually a card that was made for me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it has like my logo on it and stuff. It's adorable. People know that I love Wooper, and they send me Wooper stuff. I've had Woopers crocheted for me. There's one back there. My girlfriend got me a Wooper light. I have a billion Wooper items now.
Is your love of Wooper going to get to the point where you're going to tattoo it on your body?
Maybe like a tramp stamp right above my butt crack. That's what I was thinking. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay. That came out of left field.
Listen, I gotta add some spice.
What about so? What were your thoughts on Paldean Wooper when it first got introduced? Did you like it just as much as OG Wooper, or did you like it less?
So when they first announced it, I was so excited. Now I know a lot of Pokemon creators don't, and it's frowned upon. But I like looking at leaks. I absolutely love leaks. Like I want to see everything immediately. I want to know what is in the game, what is going on. So as soon as I saw the leaks that there was going to be a Wooper, I was so excited. I didn't even see what it looked like. I didn't know what type it was. I just knew there was going to be a new Wooper, and I was absolutely psyched. Um, I love the typing. I think it's adorable. I don't like it quite as much um, as the original Johto Wooper, but it's still so cute. And I do prefer its evolution to Quagsire. I think Clodsire is just cuter. I don't. There's something about Quagsire doesn't sit right with me. I don't know what it makes me uncomfortable. But I love Clodsire. So the fact that like it got a really cool evolution, they nailed it. They absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, I mean, when my current favorite Pokemon got introduced, like I didn't think that they could improve on the Linoon line, but all of a sudden, bam, this thing pops up on screen, and when I was asking Jake about tattoos, because I've already done so.
That's right. Yeah, you have. It's the whole line, right? I believe.
Yep, the entire line tattooed on my arm. I actually got one more session I'm gonna do in May.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I remember seeing pictures of that on Twitter. And as you know, well, I don't know if you know this, Obstagoon is actually my favorite shiny of all time.
Oh, well,
So
I was
we
gonna
have a love and appreciation as well here for.
I was gonna ask you that question just after this, but I'll ask you more about that then.
Okay.
But if you know me by now, I am the Obstagoon guy because Obstagoon is my all-time favorite Pokemon, and it dethroned Darkrai, who had like a 10-year pedestal on my favorite Pokemon spot. But when Obstagoon got introduced, like it jumped into my top 10 based on looks alone, because this thing was like any other Pokemon I've ever seen, because like, it's menacing, it's badass, it's based off Kiss. It's like they actually,
Yeah.
I like it when they like integrate real world people into Pokemon, and Gene Simmons, like they got it just right. They
They did. I love the whole rock and roll like dark type theme. Like they killed it. And,
Yeah.
and they did it well in Gen 8 with a lot of Pokemon. There's a lot of fantastic Pokemon in Gen 8.
I can contest to that. So after I finally got to use it in Sword, I was like, man, this thing is an abomination when you set it up right.
Hmm.
With the gut set flame orb and facade, this thing can wreck
Oh yeah.
house.
Uh-huh.
Like I remember doing a VGC battle on stream with this person, and they were like. They thought they had it in the bag because they had a Dracovish, but then all of a sudden I outsped and I O-code the Dracovish with Facade, and I'm like, the other person's like, what the fuck does Facade do?
Oh yeah.
It's like they didn't know like Facade doubles in power with the status ailment plus with Obstagoon's normal typing. Then it's a base 210 power move.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
insane.
It's base 70 doubled 140 with Facade, and then half that added with the stab 210.
Hmm.
That's how powerful Facade is with the flame with the burn and a normal typing. So what made Obstagoon my favorite Pokemon was when I first started doing this, I wanted to have a Pokemon branded mascot because a lot of people did. And I didn't
Hmm.
want to use
Yep.
Darkrai at the time because Patters was using it as like a co-mascot, and I was like, I don't want to copy anybody. I don't want to feel like hey,
Yeah.
I'm like doing something out here similar to this guy. No, I want to be my own unique guy. So Obstagoon was not taken by anyone. I looked, so I was like, that's my boy. And it's stuck ever since. I mean, if I had my stuff here, I'd show off my Obstagoon plushie. I got
Mhm.
Obstagoon themed cases. I got an Obstagoon card similar to this tattoo. I even got like a little drawn picture of a Galarian Zigzagoon from an old friend of mine.
Oh, nice. I love that.
Yeah,
I
it's
know you
cute.
have a lot of I know you have a lot of cool stuff in your room. I know
Yeah, for
I've lurked in a lot of your streams throughout the years, and I've seen didn't you make a metal sign or something?
yeah, my work. I we work with a lot of metal, and I had it powder coated black so I could like laser etch my logo into it.
Mm,
I did it with both of my logos, my old logo and my current logo. I did it with both of them. It's like back to back.
that's sick. That's really cool.
Yeah, I wanted to like see if I can offer a service with making it for other people, but nobody wanted to bite the
Mhm.
bullet or bite the hook. So I was like, eh.
That's interesting. I mean, I'm interested in buying one, depending on how much you charge for them.
It just depend on you know parts and labor. That's pretty much what I would have
Oh
to
yeah,
decide on. I don't know.
we'll definitely talk about that.
Okay, we'll see. But yeah, give us more detail as to why Obstagoon is your favorite shiny Pokemon. I really want to hear this.
um, the fact that it's red, white, and blue is one of the reasons why I love it. But it's the fact that it goes from a pretty mute color scheme of being, black, gray, and white, and then it contrasts and it turns into a what do they say? It looks like toothpaste. A lot of people
Yeah,
say like looks like
yeah
toothpaste.
they mainly say Linoon looks like Colgate, but Obstagoon,
Yeah.
I say it's the red, white, and blue demon.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Aqua Fresh. That's the one. Yeah, people say it looks like Aqua Fresh. And
Aquafresh.
I don't know. I love because it's not just a red, it's not just a blue. It's like an aqua blue, and the red is kind of I don't know, a little muted, so it's not crazy. It's just a nice, clean looking shiny. And I also love the Pokemon. So it's so easy to say it's my favorite. If I really broke down every single shiny, I could probably find shinies that were better, but that's my favorite. I just have like a connection to it. I love it. It's such a good shiny.
I mean, most of my favorite shinies like go to the black color scheme, but that's because my favorite color
Mm-hmm.
is black, obviously. So,
Mm-hmm.
so people can always argue like there's always a shiny Pokemon that just catches your eye, and no matter what type of Pokemon it is, whether it's like whether it's from OG awesome shinies like Mimikyu to the bad awful shinies like Poliwag, somebody likes it somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Um, my big thing is I'm far more likely to like a Pokemon if it has a good shiny. So even if a cool design comes out for a Pokemon, I'm way less likely to like that Pokemon if the shiny is bad.
I see.
Like Edge, which I think is rough. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a cool Pokemon, but the shiny is so bad, I can't even like convince myself to hunt it. Like I don't even want it. Get that thing
I'm
away
with you.
from me.
I'm with you on that, Bo, and that's something we'll definitely talk about later. uh, but my favorite shiny may come as a surprise, or may not. It's Greninja.
Yeah, that's a very common popular shiny, but it's I mean for a reason because the
Well,
black is so clean.
well, to be frank, my favorite legendary is Rayquaza, and that used to be my favorite shiny for the longest time because, come on, the Black Dragon. Can you not resist it?
Oh, well, since you spoke on it, and anybody that's in chat right now from my stream knows that I always go on a tirade about this. Did you actually know that? And this is controversial. Just fair warning. Did you actually know that Rayquaza is not a black shiny? Did you know that? It's actually a really dark muted green. If you go to the official Pokemon page with the official
Ah.
shiny and you use an eyedropper on it and then you apply it to your screen, you'll see that it's not black. Sorry to break your heart. And I've had to bring this up on stream so many times. And I've literally shown chat, like I'll take the eyedropper and get the hex code for the color and I'll pull it up full screen. I'll put it next to like, black, and you could see a clear difference. It is a dark, muted green.
This doesn't burst my bubble, but we've been calling it the Black Dragon for about 20 fucking years now, so nothing can change my mind.
It's a black shiny. Yup. Everybody calls it a black shiny.
Yeah,
Everybody.
I've been doing it for 20 years. I'm not going to stop doing it just because, and also just because, like there's something we'll talk about later. Like, just because Snubble and Gramble say they're the fairy Pokemon doesn't mean they need to be fucking fairy type Pokemon come Gen 6.
I don't understand that. Yeah, I don't understand why they're fairy types. They should be normal. I never understood that one.
They should have stayed normal. But anyway, it's not just because Greninja's black is good, and like it makes sense. I like shinies that make sense. Greninja is a ninja. Ninjas normally dress in all black. As you know, Greninja's blue. Yep. So the fact that it goes from blue to black, and the tongue goes from pink to red also makes sense because ninjas are also associated with the color red.
Yep.
We have a hydrate.
I'll do it too. I got you.
Yeah. So I just like shinies that make sense. Like another reason why Sandygast and Palosander are some of my favorite shinies, not because they're black, because their shinies make sense because there are black sand beaches.
Yeah, that was so funny you mentioned that. Sandygast was actually the first encounter shiny hunt I ever did. The first running into Pokemon. It's the first time I ever did that. Before that, it was all Masuda or I think that was it. I think I started with Masuda, and then I immediately moved over to encounters. And I don't even know if I counted it properly. I was very early on. Eventually I learned how like the auto counters work and whatnot. But I got it about at odds, and it was I loved it. It was so exciting getting my first encounter shiny like that.
Yeah, my first encounter hunt was for obviously shiny Zigzagoon, Galarian Zigzagoon.
I love that.
Yeah. First Masuda hunt I did in Sword and Shield was for a Dino, which was carrying on from some Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, because I attached probably well over 2,000 eggs in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon for a shiny Dino. Like, I'm known now as the Masuda King, but back then, like, I was a Masuda bullshitter. I had no luck. I had no Masuda luck whatsoever.
What's your longest Masuda hunt?
On screen, I think it's Passimian at about a little over 1,200 eggs.
I actually have you beat on that.
I mean, off
The
screen,
one
it was the dino with like probably 2,600 eggs.
Okay, what are the Masuda odds for? You said you were hunting it in Sun and Moon.
No, I was hunting in Sun and Moon. I had the shiny charm. It was still 512, like it is in Sword and
Oh, it's
Shield.
512. Okay, okay, that's crazy. That's a lot. Mine's not
Yeah.
quite that high, but it was the first ever Masuda hunt I did, and don't ask me why, but it was Lotad.
Hmm.
I decided to go for Lotad.
That's not a bad shiny.
It's a good shiny, right? That's what I thought, and I was like, yeah, I could, yeah, I like this shiny. It took me the ones I counted, 1,800. The ones I
Woo!
didn't count, probably an extra 200. So I usually just say like 2,000. The first
Woo!
ever hunt I did took
Damn.
me that long. Yep.
Ugh, dang.
So I've always been cursed. I've always been cursed. So this Dialga stuff is nothing new to me. I was born in the in the darkness.
Hey, same here, pal.
Yeah.
But speaking of darkness, like that's my favorite type. What's yours?
Mhm. So funny enough, it's also the dark type.
Yay!
Behind me
Dark type
here,
appreciation stream.
obviously I have my custom Umbreon light that I've had for forever.
Which I
Um,
love, by the way. I wish I had one.
Mhm. I ordered off of an Etsy shop that shortly after I ordered it, custom by the way, I asked for it to be shiny. They usually made just regular ones. They closed down. I don't know if they got sued by by the Pokemon company or what. I don't know what happened.
Damn.
Um, but I do have a shelf down here that you can't really see too well, but you can see there's a Houndoom, there's a
Yep.
Pancham, there's a Sableye. Um, this is my little like dark type section
Well,
that I just set up because I just moved into this place.
I hate to, be uh, technical here, but Pancham's not a
Mhm.
dark type till it evolves.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like
I know.
it's
Yes, I know what you mean.
it fits the theme of the shelf.
I know.
There's
I know.
also
I
a
know.
there's also another dark. Well, yeah, I mean I have a Zeb Strike on the shelf too, but it's black and white, right?
Yeah. I mean
Fits the theme.
my nerd cabinet at home. I got a plushie of Obstagoon, Greninja. I actually brought my Darkrai plush with me because I have a channel point redemption called Yeet the Nightmare. So I had to bring this little standing plush with me so I could yeet it whenever I wanted to.
Oh, do you still have that? I don't see it.
I just tossed it. I just yeeted it.
Oh no, I thought I thought you had the shell. I was gonna redeem it.
No, I turn that stuff off for podcasts.
Oh, okay, okay, fair enough.
But yeah.
Well, you know that I'm known for my my yoting of this little green bastard.
Yeah, I've seen you yeet that thing a plenty of time.
World, it's a miracle this thing is still in one piece.
It's a miracle this thing's still in one piece.
Because for the longest time I had a wall behind me, and I've knocked pictures off the wall. I've knocked the Umbreon light over 4 or 5 times. Like I take this thing and I chuck it.
I know. I chucked that thing too. I have my evolution stained glass puzzle up on my other wall, and I threw it so hard I knocked it off the freaking command strips.
Oh God.
Yeah, that was a pretty interesting day. But why do you love dark types? Like what draws you to dark types?
So funny story about that. I don't know because I'm still unpacking a lot of my stuff, and I don't know where I put a lot of it.
Uh-huh.
Um, I have a slab of a graded Pokemon card, and it's I believe Team Magma Houndoom. And I don't know why, but as a kid, the black cards just I absolutely love them. So as I got older and I realized like types and how they worked and all that kind of stuff, I really got into it. But I have a specific memory of being in the back seat of a minivan. I believe it was my dad's minivan, and we were in the Walmart parking lot. And I got a pack of cards. It was EX Team Magma and Team Aqua. Opened it. I got the Houndoom holographic as a whenever that came out, 2007. Now it's worth like $200, something like that. But as a kid, I got rid of all my Pokemon cards. But it
Oh.
just I loved it. And I was like, this card is so cool. Like dark type, like evil. I loved like Absol, and I loved like all these. So like so many of the Pokemon I like fit into the dark category. So I was like, this just has to be my favorite type. It's just it's so cool. It's like it's so different. Like what is dark type? Like grass is outside, water is in the ocean. What is a dark type Pokemon? So it just kind of I don't know. I gravitated towards it. It's
This is a dark
edgy.
type.
Oh my god.
There's no light
Jesus.
in this room.
Is there even a window?
Yeah, there is, but it's covered by a curtain.
Holy. That was
Like I could put some natural lighting here if I wanted to, but I decided not to.
okay, okay. I was like, holy.
But yeah, what drew me to dark types was pretty much my past. I have a pretty dark past. I've had some really rotten shit happen to me, and I've had some really bad memories and experiences. So dark types seem to be more at home with me because they always get a bad rep. Because, like I said, it's literally called the evil type in Japan. So it's like
Yeah.
these dark types aren't evil. They're not all evil. There are some dark types that are very heartwarming, very compassionate. If you watch the anime, you'll know that Houndoom loved Togepi. So it's like they got a
Yeah,
heart.
yeah.
They got a heart. And plus, like my top 5 favorite Pokemon are dark types: Obstagoon, Greninja, Darkrai, Hydreigon, Umbreon. They're all dark types. So a lot of my favorite Pokemon are dark types. I've done almost over a dozen Nuzlocks with just dark type Pokemon, and it's like it's become a staple for me. And it's again, I just feel at home with them. That's pretty much all I can dumb it down to, is that I feel at home with them.
Have you ever beaten every single Pokemon game with dark types?
Not yet. I still have to beat. There's still one Pokemon game that I need to beat with dark types. That's Heart Gold, Soul Silver, because it has 2 regions.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah,
I
that's
can't
right.
do. I can't do a Dark Lock in Fire Red, Leaf Green, or Blue, Red and
Yeah.
Blue because there's no dark types.
There's no dark types. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I mean, of course, when the Gen 10 games come out, I'll have to do a Dark Lock in those games. But at the moment, the only Dark Lock I need to complete is the Heart Gold, Soul Silver one.
Okay. I mean, what dark types are even available early game?
Well, I kind of customized this run so I could integrate more Pokemon.
That's fair. Yeah, because otherwise, I mean, you're kind of stuck with like one Pokemon for quite a while, aren't you?
Plus, I don't want to be locked out the Houndour until the late game, so I put it in like the first route.
Yeah, that's understandable. That's fair. Because who doesn't want to run through the game with Houndoom?
Yeah. Yeah, kind of a pseudo starter. I didn't want to make it the starter, so actually I couldn't make it the starter in the program that I used, so I just put it on the first route.
Okay.
All right. So, out of all the Pokemon games you have played, which one would you say is your favorite? And if you have a favorite spin-off game, list that one too.
Okay. Growing up, my favorite was Emerald, and I loved like kind of getting lost in the water and getting discovering things and you know being able to dive underwater and climbing up the volcano to battle a gym. Like just it was such an experience to play those games. And I absolutely loved it. And even after playing through almost every single Pokemon game, because I've never played through Sun and Moon ever. I've never played through Sun and Moon, which is crazy.
Not even the Ultra games?
No, I own them. Never played through them.
Damn.
I've just never done it. Eventually, I'll get around to it. But even after playing through every other Pokemon game, playing through a couple multiple times, going back and playing old games again, it's still Emerald. Like it holds up so well. The selection of Pokemon, the how smooth the game feels with like the gym progression and how the battles go and the storyline. I absolutely love it. I think it's a 10 out of 10 video game. Not just Pokemon. I think it's a 10 out of 10 like video game.
Hmm. Yeah, I could definitely contest to that. I mean, I actually didn't play OG Emerald because I never had the cartridge, but I have played it on emulators, and I really like the game. And plus, it like without a doubt, it has the best cutscene in all of Pokemon history. Rayquaza coming down from the sky, basically telling
Yep.
Groudon Rayquaza to stop it.
It's iconic. It is
Yes.
so iconic. And the evil teams feel evil. Like the legendaries are cool. The regular Pokedex is cool. I think it's the best starters in any generation of Pokemon. They hit everything in that game perfectly.
I can contest to that. I'm a Gen 3 baby myself, so I do love the Gen 3 stars do have a special place in my heart.
Hmm. Absolutely.
What about a spin-off game? You have one of those?
You know, I have not played a lot of the spin-offs. I played the original Pokemon Snap as a kid and I liked it.
Hmm.
However, honestly, I haven't played through a lot of the other ones. I mean, a big part of my Pokemon journey, which I don't know if it's considered a spin-off, would be Pokemon Go. I've always loved Pokemon Go. I
Technically, it
love the
is.
outdoors. Yeah, it's technically a spin-off, right? I love the outdoors. I love going for walks. I just came back from a walk right right before I sat down here. Um, I don't know. It's just the aspect of like physically going and like catching a Pokemon. It feels like I'm a kid, like going out. I'm on a journey. I'm on an adventure. I've gone to like fun parks and I'll go to the shore and I'll go into the mountains and it's such a fun like it makes you feel adventurous with Pokemon, which is one of the big things um, that Pokemon kind of brings to the table.
Yeah, I could definitely contest to that. I just never, it just never stuck with me. I kind of fizzled out during the early stages, and I never really gone back. But I do see Pokemon Go for its merits.
Absolutely. I mean,
I do have my opinions on it, but
mhm.
I can do see it for its merits.
There's a lot of controversy with it. Like that's for sure. Niantic was brutal at times,
Yeah, it's not.
absolutely brutal
Yeah,
at times, and they
yeah.
and
It's
they
like it's
caught a
not.
lot of much deserved flack for the way they handle tickets and prices on things and accessibility for disabled people and stuff like that.
Yeah,
They really have dug themselves in some holes, but they sold
yeah.
it, so hopefully they never have to touch another video game that I play.
Yeah, we'll see if Go fixes itself in the long run. But
Hmm.
you said Emerald was your favorite game as a kid. Is that still true as an adult?
Absolutely. Funny enough, I do not play on 10 phones at once. um quick little side story and then I'll go back to that. There's actually a park very close to where I live currently.
Hmm.
And I always see this older lady. She's maybe, I don't know, mid 50s, like maybe 60 something. She will walk around. This is somebody's like grandmother, okay? She will walk around with like three phones. And they're like she'll hold all three phones and she'll like rotate them in her hand. And she'll play Pokemon Go on all three phones. She'll put three
Oh,
Pokemon in the gym. A 60 something year old woman.
wow.
Absolutely wild. You would expect that out of like, some younger dude that's like grinding the game. Nope. It's somebody's Meemaw out there just ripping gyms. It's wild to me. Absolutely wild to me.
Damn,
And
that's
whenever I see her out there, like um, kicking Pokemon at a gyms, I'll sit there and feed golden berries to my Pokemon so that she can't take the gym. I'm so petty. Like I will not let that woman take my gym. Absolutely not. I will
that's
wait on
ama-
my Poke coins.
that's amazing.
But That is gonna be me one day. That's fair. That is gonna be me one day.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if the game lasts that long. um, but yeah, I would still say that Pokemon Emerald is my all-time favorite Pokemon game. However, I actually don't own a Pokemon Emerald copy. I mean,
Uh,
I think you know why. You're in the
yeah,
Pokemon scene.
yeah,
They're like $240 now.
yeah.
Just
That's not.
ridiculous. Like, it's just
Yeah,
stupid. I can't. I have like Pokemon Ruby, Oh no, I'm sorry. I have Sapphire. I have Pokemon Sapphire. Have a couple Japanese games. I have a lot of the 3DS, DS games. I just cannot convince myself to spend $240 on a game that's 20 years old. I
yeah.
can't do it.
I mean, I want to do the same with Heart Gold, Soul Silver, but at the same time, I can't. I mean, I would actually
Hmm.
love to get an Emerald cartridge and do a legit full odds Shiny Rayquaza hunt, but
Hmm.
I don't think it's worth the investment right now, especially when I got plans to travel.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um, I don't remember how or where or when I did get a Soul Silver, like official Soul Silver game. I believe it was a gift some years ago. Um,
Lucky duck.
I got to replay through, Heart Gold Soul Silver that at that point in Pokemon, I wasn't playing anymore. So I got to kind of touch it for the first time and play through it for the first time. And besides the big level jump towards the end of the gyms in Johto, absolutely love those games. Like just the character that they have, having Pokemon follow you around. Um,
Hmm.
I mean, Johto has great Pokemon, truly like great Pokemon. There's some weird ones, like I don't know anyone who their favorite Pokemon is Stantler. You know what I mean? I don't know if those people are real. Um, but I played with like I used a Skarmory for the first time ever. Like that was fun. I got you get to use some like interesting Pokemon. I got to use a Heracross for the first time, which is one of my favorite Pokemon, one of my favorite shinies. I absolutely love those games. I absolutely love those games. It was such a
Yeah.
fun experience, playing late at night, with my comforter pulled over me and I'm just like playing. It made me feel like a kid again when you would hide under your blanket and, you know. So I have very fond memories of Heart Gold Soul Silver.
Yeah, I got those fond memories too, and they would have taken the mantle as my favorite Pokemon game if Black 2 and White 2 didn't exist, but they
Hmm,
do. So
that's fair. That's
those are
fair.
my favorites, mainly because of two main things that I really look forward to in a game: the story and the rival.
Yeah.
Storyline wise, Black 2 and White 2, not just that one, but the Gen 5 games, they have the best written storylines of any main series Pokemon game, in my opinion.
Oh, for sure. I would agree with that. Like story wise, absolutely like the best.
Yeah, they got some of the best written storylines, and they really make the evil team like genuinely evil people.
Hmm.
Like, like Aqua and Magma, they want to expand the land, expand the sea. They
Or
want
like
to
drown people.
Yeah,
Like they
they
want
want
to
to.
flood the land. Like
Yeah,
what?
they want to take away Pokemon for people just so they can use Pokemon to take over the world. It's kind of like
Hmm.
what Team Rocket does, except they're not in this to make money. They're in this for the sheer fact of they want to legitimately just take over the planet.
Yeah, they're in it for the love of the game.
Yeah. And the rival, Hugh, in my opinion, is the best rival of all time because of one specific reason. He's not in this for fame and glory. He's in this for a noble cause. He's
Hmm.
not a trainer to make sure that he's the best in the world or try to one up you. He's in this to rescue his sister's Purloin, which is a dark type taken by Team Plasma. So
Hmm.
I kind of like level with him because a little bitty dark type trying to save it, and every time Team Plasma comes into play, he literally wants to kick him in the face. So it's
Hmm.
like
It's
it's
very
just
easy to like yeah. Um that's one of my gripes with some of the newer Pokemon games is the evil team is never really that evil, it
Nope.
seems. You know what I mean? Like they're just kind of, you know,
Like like
causing
even though my
mischief.
even though my stream team is Team Yell, the real Team Yell, don't even bother. They're not. They're
Yeah,
not. They're
yeah.
not.
You can't take them
They're not an evil
serious.
team. You can't take them
Yeah.
serious.
Yep. And I will say even Generation 8, like they, as much as I love those games, like the evil team is not evil. You know, it's just they're not evil.
They haven't.
Um
There hasn't been an evil team since like Gen 6, and Gen 6 has
yeah.
a really sucky evil team, to put it lightly.
Yeah. And a lot of people like to shit uh on Gen 6, but I enjoyed playing through those games. I did. I enjoyed the Pokedex. I know people dislike that region. I think the remakes eventually when those come out for Gen 6 are going to be fantastic.
We'll.
I think they'll fix a lot of like the how easy the game is. You know, a lot of the complaints are going to get fixed.
Like
Um,
I
it has
feel
a good
like
Pokedex. There's so many great Pokemon.
like I
You
feel
know,
like
it does have personality. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like ZA is going to try to fix the issues that Gen 6 had, but I don't see it fixing all the issues.
Now,
So
since they're
you may be
making
right.
ZA, do you think they're ever gonna like have an actual instead of a Legends game, have like an actual remake for Gen 6, or you think they're just gonna skip over it?
If they did, if they're following the same course, because they not only introduced BDSP but also a Gen 4 Legends game,
Yeah.
so it could potentially, like, whenever the remakes time is upon us, because right now in the current cycle, Gen 5 is next.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it ain't gonna be Gen 6 remakes for a long
For a while.
time.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, when are we due for the Gen 5 remakes? Pretty soon,
Um,
right?
yeah,
Maybe
BDSP
like next
happened at
year.
the end of 2022, I think. It was
That sounds
2000.
right.
No, 2021. It happened at the end of 2021, because 2022 I was still 2022 is when Arceus came out. 2021 was
Yeah.
BDSP. So it's been about 4 years. So we could potentially get remakes and Gen 10 next year. So I don't know.
November 19th, 2021.
So yeah, I was
That's
right. Yeah, because
yep.
it happened the day after my birthday. Normally the Pokemon games release around my birthday.
Um I was spoiled very early on with Pokemon games, you know, when I re-entered the scene because Sword and Shield had just come out. You know, then I was around for the DLC when the DLC came out. Then I got what, two Pokemon games in 2 years, two new Pokemon games. I got the remakes and then I got Legends. You know, like I was spoiled in that little time frame.
Mm-hmm.
Like 3 games in what, 4 years, was it? Something like that? Or three
Yeah.
years? And then we got Gen 9 and then nothing. Like radio silence. And it's felt weird, you know, where
Well,
there's like it feels pretty stale right now
well, with how
a
much,
lot of stuff.
but with how much they flopped with Gen 9, it's like
Yeah.
the silence is kind of a necessity at this point,
Yeah.
because
Oh,
the only
I'd rather have
add-ons
them take their time.
yeah.
You know, with whatever they're working on, take your time, like make it good. That's okay, as long as it has like replayability when it comes out. That's all
Yeah,
I care about.
yeah, we'll see how much replayability Legends ZA has whenever it's released.
Mm-hmm. We
But
don't have a release date, do we?
nope, it's still late 2025. So my official guess for Legends ZA release date is going to be November 21st, 2025.
I
That's
can
my
see
official
that.
guess.
I can see that. Yeah, and they get their promos out right before Christmas. Like they know what they're doing. They know what
Yeah,
they're doing.
and also it's the week before Thanksgiving, so
Mm-hmm. Yep.
that's going to be my official guess, November 21st.
Yep. I could totally see that happening. Are
All
you
right.
excited for the games?
Oh yeah, we'll talk more about it later. But I wasn't the biggest fan of Gen 6 games, but this Legends EA game, I definitely like the fact that we can sneak up on the trainer and then blast him with a move.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's gonna be some fun battling mechanics I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, me too. But why don't we jump from love to hate and let's get on the hate train?
Oh, my favorite. The only thing
Yes.
I love more than love is loving to hate.
All right, so Jake, what
Yes,
is
sir.
your least favorite Pokemon?
Ooh, I got a
What's the
couple of them.
well?
I got a couple.
What's the one Pokemon that stands at the pinnacle?
Mm. Every once in a while, it kind of bounces around. You know, it's one of those things where like I have a definite favorite Pokemon,
Uh huh.
but like hatred. There was a time where Mesprit was my most hated Pokemon for maybe like I don't know 3 months or something like that. It's actually a block term in my chat. Besides, like horrible like words that are obviously blocked in most chats. There's only
Okay.
3 words blocked in my chat. Pineapple,
I can see that.
um, MGK, and and Mesprit.
What got you on the sour train for Mesprit?
I was hunting in BDSP. I was going for Larvitar, and I had a chain of I believe it was 38 or 39, and I
Oh
always tried to get to
no.
40, and then the roaming Mesprit broke it.
Oh
It
wait,
broke it.
so you had a Pokemon at the lead that wasn't level 50
Mm-hmm.
and the repel didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yep.
no.
It'll get you.
Oh
Um,
no.
but so I'm like, all right, you know what? I I like took the rest of that stream off. I did something else, whatever. I came back to the hunt. And I think I put a different Pokemon in the front, and I thought I fixed it. It happened again with Mesprit at 38.
What?
Yeah, going for Larvitar because
What?
It rotates routes, and it just so happened that it popped up on that route as I walked into like that patch of grass. It
Oh.
was just so I master balled it and then immediately transferred it, and then I made it a block term in my chat, so nobody could ever
Oh.
talk about it.
Oh my god.
I used my one master ball on it, and I released it. True story.
Oh my god.
It was
That
brutal.
definitely warrants the hate. That
Hmm.
like if that happened to me, I would be like, no, never
Oh,
again.
I was. It was one of those ones where you put your head down in your hands, and you're just like, God, like this is awful. All this time spending hours hunting something just to lose it to something stupid. Brutal.
That
You
is
said why pineapple? Oh, because pineapples. People always say pineapple goes on pizza, and I will
uh
not have that in my chat. Absolutely
yeah.
not. That is forbidden. Get that communism out of here. I don't. I don't play that game. There will be no
Uh,
pineapples on pizza in my chat.
yeah, I could. I mean, Gordon Ramsay said it himself. You don't put fucking pineapple on pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so Mesprit, that's gonna be an interesting hunt for me because I don't know if you know this, but I'm actually shiny hunting the least favorite Pokemon of all my past guests. So I have
Mm.
to shiny hunt a yellow snow colored Mesprit for you now.
Well, it's not my number one least favorite. That was only for like a maybe 3 or 4 month period of time when I was playing
Okay,
BDSP.
okay, then what
But
is the number
it will
one?
be easier on you. It will be easier on you.
What's the
And
number
people are
one?
people are gonna hate on me. My absolute least favorite Pokemon of all time is Blossom.
Bellossom.
I hate Blossom. It is
Okay.
so unnecessary. It's not cute. It's just it looks dumb. Like I don't. It's just the color scheme's bad. It's just awful. Why did they need to touch that line? Like Vileplume is fantastic, and has a good shiny. Why? It's so unnecessary, and it just irritates me. And it looks so happy. I want to fucking uppercut it. I want to just I hate it.
Ugh.
This makes me angry
Okay.
when I look at it.
Okay, that is definitely a first. Cause
That's why I
you're
have this little emote right here.
yeah, you want to punt it to the moon? Do you want to punt it to the
Just
moon or do you want to punt it to the sun?
I wanna punt it into the sun. I hate that thing. Get that thing away from me.
I could share the hatred for my least favorite Pokemon because, um, believe it or not, my favorite and least favorite are both dark types, but the dark type that I'm listing deserves the hate.
Okay.
Alolan Persian.
Mm. Again, a similar vein where it's just like, why? Why does it
Yes.
exist?
Why
Why'd
does
they
it
make its
exist?
fucking head look like a watermelon? Like, I don't understand.
Yes.
It's bad. It's
But
awful.
this is the biggest slap in the face to me as a dark type prodigy because before Piers and Marnie were a thing, Nanu was the closest thing we ever got to a dark type gym leader, which is the Kahuna of Ula Ula Island of the game you never played. His
Mhm.
ace is that stupid cat.
Oh
Now
God, I didn't know that.
yes, and I get there's a non-existent plethora of dark types in Alola, but he could have used
Mhm.
the fucking Alolan Muck, and it would have been a lot better. But no,
And
his
that's a
ace had to
brutal
be that.
Pokemon.
Yeah, his ace had to be that stupid dumb cat. And God, I get that Alolan Meowth are associated with like police force on that island, but why does his ace have to be that dumb cat?
Mhm.
Ugh.
But you know what? It makes it more satisfying when you beat the crap out of them. You know, walk in there with
Right,
a fairy or fighting type and just obliterate them.
Ryu Lickitung is one of my least favorites, but it's not. I'm purely disgusted by that thing, but it does not take the mantle as a Alolan person. Like I want to kick that thing to the sun and freaking take the sun and punt it out of the freaking solar system because I don't want that thing, even its ashes, to exist in this universe at all.
My God, I see. I actually like Lickitung.
I don't. I think it's disgusting, especially that
I
freaking.
like it. It's a good shiny too.
Yeah, says the guy that's literally named Yellow Snow.
Hey, listen. I have actually used in BDSP. I played through with a Licky Licky, which was very very interesting. But I like to use random Pokemon. Like who uses that? And then I ended up getting a Shalfa Licky Licky in PLA.
Like, have you seen the Detective Pikachu movie?
Mm.
That
Well,
Lickitung
what's also
scene.
funny. Oh yeah, no, that is cursed, absolutely. But you know what else
Yes.
is cursed? Mr. Mime.
Yes.
But I
There's
love
a
Mr.
there,
Mime too.
yeah, there's a reason why
I
Mr.
also like
Mime's in
Mr.
my
Mime.
there's a reason why Mr. Mime's like in the list of the least favorite mons in PokeNERDS Inc.
That's fair. I understand why people don't like Mr. Mime, but I love Mime Jr. I think Mime Jr. is my favorite baby Pokemon. I think he's
Yeah,
so cute with his little head as he runs, his head like wobbles back and forth. So cute. So cute.
yeah,
So I have like an affinity for Mr. Mime because of that. And
yeah,
from the anime, you know what I mean? Like, you know, Ash's mom and Mr. Mime are
yeah.
getting freaky. You know what I mean?
Mime, mime, mime.
I
Yeah,
I, I love Mr. Mime. I like Jinx. I like a lot of the kind of um commonly disliked Pokemon.
the commonly humanoid type
Mhm.
Pokemon.
Yep, the ones that kind of catch a lot of flack for being creepy.
Yeah, I can understand that. But all right, based on the context of our conversation earlier, is Ceruledge your least favorite shiny, or is it something else?
I have a sheer hatred for Zapdos and its shiny.
Oh,
I
okay.
I hate that shiny so bad. I don't know why. Maybe because it was one of my favorite Pokemon as a kid, and then when I got older and learned about shinies, I was like, oh, I bet Zapdos has a an electric blue, or maybe it turns like gray or something. No, nothing. It's still yellow. it's its feet change like 2 pixels, you know, more orange or whatever. It's awful. Awful. And I've actually like played the game where I'll pull up on stream the shiny Zapdos and the regular Zapdos, and people can't tell me the difference. Like they can't tell me which one is the shiny. It's bad. Like you can't even tell which one's the original. What's the point?
Yeah, I can understand that. You're actually the first person who has specifically noted a barely noticeable shiny, or like most of the time people say one of the least colored altered shinies,
Mhm.
but they don't specify which one. You're probably I think
Mm.
you may be the first guest to specify a specific one in that pool.
Well, I'm a certified hater. If you want more, I got more. I always got more more to hate on.
I can understand, man. But because of what you said earlier, that's actually, well, not just Ceruledge, Armarouge, and Charcadet, all of them are my least favorite
Oh, yeah,
combined.
they're all bad, and they're such cool Pokemon. Like it was
Yeah,
such a cool design. They
yes.
really just missed the mark on that. Like I
Ex-
don't understand.
for those of you that don't know, here's the difference. That's the difference.
Yeah,
When people
basically, yeah.
when people don't see me without my sunglasses, they're like, "Oh, this is a rare form of Spence. It's shiny Spence. This is the normal. This is normal. Shiny. Normal. Shiny. Normal. Shiny." That's all they did. It sucks. Ugh.
Okay,
I've said this. I've said this since day one. All they had to do was swap the color schemes, armors, and Ceruledge, and they would have been some of the best shinies.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Yeah. But,
or make them black.
yeah. God, those shinies are the worst.
They're so bad. I remember when I saw the leaks for them, I'm like, wow, like they're gonna have like this cool colored like flame, and it's gonna change colors to something cool. No, nope.
Yeah. What was I about to say? Oh yeah. Jeez, I had something I was about to say, but I lost it. Maybe I'll get it back in a second.
If it's important, it'll come back to you.
Yeah, if it's important, it'll come back. All right. Out of the 18 types in Pokemon, which one has gained the most hate from you?
See, that's such an interesting question. You have normal types, which are pretty boring, but there's a lot of cool ones, a lot of cute ones. Um, if I had to pick a least favorite, it'd probably be the fairy typing. Only because
My man.
it's just there's so many misses with a lot of the Pokemon. Like Slurpuff. Like, what is that? Alcremie. Like, why do I have a birthday cake? Like, what is? I don't know. But there are some cool ones. Especially more recently, they've kind of made things a little less uh fluffy looking. Like Gardevoir is cool. That's a cool fairy type. Tinkaton, sick, right? Um, like Grimmsnarl, fantastic,
Yep.
right? Like that's not a fairy type that looks like it doesn't have to be pink to be a fairy type. It doesn't have to be like this like feminine looking thing. It could be a fairy type but be a different color or be a little bit more masculine or I don't understand why they're so committed to making like fairy types a certain way, and I think that's why I don't like them.
Yeah, it's like in the olden days, like it's like back in Gen 6, if a Pokemon was pink, it gained the fairy type.
Yeah.
It's like, what the crap?
Exactly.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's like you were saying earlier, like even though like the classification for Snubbull and Gramble is fairy Pokemon, they had no business being fairy types because they're pink and purple. They had no business.
Why? Yeah. Why are they fairy? Does anybody know? Is there any explanation as to why like two random dogs are fairy types?
Yes, it's like Tina said back in the day when I interviewed her. Like freaking, it's because of the classification of fairy Pokemon. That's it. But
Yeah.
God. Plus, on top of that, fairies nerfed dark types when they didn't need a nerf. It sucks. Hydreigon is now like a fairy type Pokemon's bitch, and I hate it.
Oh yeah, quad weak to fairies, brutal.
Yes, beyond brutal.
That is rough.
Plus, both of its main attacking types don't hit fairy type Pokemon at all. It's like, ugh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ugh. But I kind of have a love-hate relationship with Tinkaton because I did use one in my first playthrough of Scarlet, but at the same time, Corviknight's my favorite flying type, and they kill
Yeah. So
Corviknight. So
yeah, they
I
knocked
kind of
it
have
out
a
of the
love.
sky.
Yeah, I kind of have a love-hate relationship with those things.
But you have to admit though, like that's badass. That's cool. Like that's a cool fairy type. That's not no like little princess, puff little. You know what I mean? Like that's a tough fairy type.
Yeah,
That's
I can.
that's tough.
Yeah, Fairy Steel is basically the most broken type in all of Pokemon, but it only
Yeah,
has
yeah,
two.
that's nuts.
There's only 4 Pokemon that have that typing now, so it's like, no wait, 5 Pokemon.
Because you got
Klefki is
what
fair.
Klefki and yeah,
Klefki's Fairy Steel, but nobody bothers with Klefki.
I like Klefki. See, that's a good fairy type because it doesn't look like a fairy type, but it makes sense that it is a fairy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can definitely attest to that. All right, so out of all the Pokemon games out there, which one would you say is your least favorite?
Least favorite.
Yeah, which Pokemon game left us which one left a sour taste?
Or ones that I hate from a distance that I've never touched.
Whichever one is either rubbed you the wrong way or just really grinds your gears.
Of ones that I've played, for sure, I would have to say, I know people love it. The Pokemon community loves it to pieces. I don't like PLA. Legends Arceus is one of my least favorite Pokemon games. If it probably is my least favorite that I've ever played through.
That is definitely a first. You're the first person to list the PLA.
Oh, yeah. I it's too easy to get shinies. The battling mechanics irritate me. Like if I'm battling a Pokemon that's 5 levels above me, it should not be able to attack me 3 times in a row. Like what on what planet does that happen? That's ridiculous. It's such a frustrating game, and then you're getting like attacked and like charged by Pokemon constantly. It's just there's too many little annoying things in it. And then all the new forms are nothing got better. In my opinion, not a single Pokemon that they touched for PLA improved. Some stayed the same and were still kind of cool, like Braviary, still pretty cool. But the original's also great. They didn't like fix any Pokemon. Weirdeer is fine. Some of the Pokemon that got like a new evolution are like fine. I don't know anybody who loves Weirdeer. I don't know any Weirdeer aficionados. You know what I mean?
People would say Ursaluna was an improvement upon Ursaring, but without Ursaluna, Blood Moon Ursaluna wouldn't be a thing, and I love Blood Moon Ursaluna.
That is true. That I would say that would be like the one that they did some justice to. I would agree with that. Blood Moon Ursaluna is sick. That's a sick looking Pokemon.
Yeah, so side story. I was a firm believer that there's not a single way they could make this absolutely menacing boss Mordew looking Pokemon cute. Like there's no way they could make this cute. Then all of a sudden I see on Twitter Video Game Shay was like, hold my beer. She draws a cute chibi version of Ursaluna Blood Moon. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, Shay, you are an absolutely amazing artist. I cannot believe you did that.
Yeah, that's impressive. That's impressive. It's a very menacing looking Pokemon.
Yeah, she turned one of the most badass looking Pokemon cute, and I tip my hat to her that she did that. No hate at all. I just tip my hat to her that she actually did that.
Oh, absolutely cute. Absolutely.
But anyway, I said earlier that I don't have much love for Gen 6, and that's rolls over to my least favorite game as well. Like the points that you mentioned earlier, it was way too easy. In my opinion, the Pokédex was a little bit too big. Like, yes, there's a lot of Pokemon, but there wasn't a lot of really good Gen 6 Pokemon introduced. You had to like get creative to make a legit menacing team of 6 Pokemon from the original Gen 6. And in my opinion, like a lot of people love to give hate to Gita as being the worst champion ever. No, it's Diantha. Diantha is by far the worst champion in my eyes.
That's fair. I'll
She's
give you that.
because she's barely in her own game.
And the thing too is these starters outside of Froakie are awful. Absolutely awful.
I mean,
Uh
I can give some merit to Chestnut, but I can't give any merit to Delphox. I have a scorning hatred for that fox.
See, I hate Quilladin. The Quilladin just automatically ruins anything good that was
Yeah,
going on there.
yeah, I can definitely contest to that. I can definitely contest to that one. Let's see what else. Yeah, and plus there was so much to the game that we could have explored, but we couldn't because there was like no access, and it sucked.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, the map was very disjointed and it felt kind of weird to travel around. It wasn't smooth. You know,
Yes,
I do agree with that. That was definitely a gripe I had.
and
But I
on
do
top of
think
that,
The Pokedex was damn good.
yes, I
Pokedex,
mean
like
the Pokédex.
Aegislash, Go-Go, Pangoro, like they had some bangers in there. You have to admit.
I will admit that they had some bangers, but they did have a lot of misses. But also, last point I'll mention, there was legitimately nothing for the post game. No post game
Oh no,
bullshit.
yeah,
No post
yeah,
game.
absolutely not,
Like a post game
absolutely
also
not.
makes a game. There was no post game. No post game at
Mhm.
all.
I agree, and I also think it's interesting that we never got a Pokemon Z. Like that's
Yeah.
wild to me that it took this long to, to give any love to that region because they
Yeah.
could have fixed all these issues, which is interesting that they didn't. They just kind of said, next generation.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Gen C was a project, but then it got scrapped for the next gen.
And how do you feel about Megas?
Megas, they made the game way too easy. I think it's an interesting
Oh yeah.
battle mechanic, but at the
Hmm.
same time, some Pokemon didn't really like some Pokemon didn't need a Mega, but there were some Pokemon that did. Like
Yeah.
Gen 6 was the gen that introduced Mega Evolution.
Hmm.
Give more Gen 6 Pokemon outside of Diancie a Mega Evolution.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? That's such a bizarre concept. Like, why do you introduce a new mechanic and then give it to one Pokemon from that region? You
Yeah,
know, or one like recent Pokemon. That's
yeah,
crazy to me.
yeah. Give a non-obtainable Pokemon a Mega. It's like, what's the point?
But I will say that the Megas fixed a lot of Pokemon that needed the love. There was some Pokemon that needed the love.
Yes, I can definitely contest to that. Mega Sableye is definitely an example there, and Mega Mawile.
Yes, Mega Mawile is great.
Yeah, huge power, Steel Fairy. Oh yeah, that's 6 Pokemon
Mhm.
now.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting Steel and Fairy Pokemon. I'm like, come on. Ugh.
I hope for ZA they give us like a Mega Granbull so that you can use it in the playthrough.
Blah. Give that to Tiny Tina. Don't give that to me.
Oh, she would love that.
Yes,
She would love that.
yes, she would. Okay, so what is dig deep into your memory bank and what is the very first memory you can think of when it comes to Pokemon?
The very first what? Sorry, you cut out for a second.
Sorry, like what was your very first experience slash memory with Pokemon? Dig deep into your memory vault.
Okay, this is a very specific memory that I have. Um, I remember being on a playground, and I must have been 4, maybe 4 years old. One of the first memories I've ever had. Um, I remember someone had like this little plastic briefcase looking thing, and they opened it up, and there was Pokemon cards in it. And I just remember like I obviously couldn't I couldn't we could barely read. Like I was like 4 years old. I just remember looking at the cards and like just seeing some of like the old artworks and stuff. And I was like, wow, this is like this is like kind of cool. And then years later, um, I believe it was 2001, I want to say, when Burger King came out with all of the Pokemon in the Pokeballs. You
Oh,
know what
you
I'm
mean
talking
like
about?
the spin topper deal?
Yeah, yeah. I remember kids were like choking on them, so they had to like discontinue them. Whatever,
Oh,
whatever.
we have a
Um,
hydrate.
I I had a shelf in my room as a kid, and it had all of the had every single one. My mom went from Burger King to Burger King and was trading with kids to get like, oh, you have two of whatever Jigglypuff. Here, I'll give you this Farfetch, which is rare, for the Jigglypuff, so that she could complete the entire Pokedex. So I have fond memories of being like in a crib, I think, or a bed with walls, and looking up at my shelf and seeing, all the Pokemon lined up in the Pokeballs.
That's awesome.
Sounds like Hustler Kid from Recess was at your school, doesn't it? The kid with a trench coat like opens it up. It's like a bunch of Pokemon cards.
Look at my styling.
Yeah, there you go.
Uh, my first memory comes down to the anime. I first watched it on a VHS tape. Yes, I'm that old.
Oh, I am too. Don't worry.
Oh, I watched it on VHS. It was a 3 episode set of the Indigo League series. It was the Pokemon Shipwrecked, the Isle of the Giant Pokemon, and Tentacruel. Which, fun fact, is
Mm,
actually a banned episode in the United States.
is it? Why is that?
Yes, because of the towers going down
That's
and
right. Yeah, the ginormous Tentacruel, right?
yeah,
They were like smashing into the buildings. Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
Because that was just post
Um,
2001, wasn't it?
I'm not sure it was post 2001. I think it got banned later, but I don't think it was post like
Oh, okay. I
I
didn't know
don't
if
think
it
it was
aired
right.
before in
Yeah, I
America
don't know
or
if it was like the
after.
year or year after. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't remember which year it is banned in, but I do know that it's a banned episode here in the U.S. But anyway, I watched these series and I'm like, this is actually something really mesmerizing and cool, and the
Mhm,
fact that they could like throw these metal ball things and creatures pop out of them and they could command them. It's like, wow, this is
mhm.
really cool. Then it snowballed when I looked at the cards, played the video games, just like it just snowballed from 3 episodes of the anime. I've watched every single episode of the old anime. Like I painstakingly watched the Gen 5 anime, but I think the only anime that I haven't watched from beginning to end is Journeys and the current Paldea saga. I haven't watched any of those.
Okay. I haven't watched any since. I think I skipped a bunch, and then I heard the Sun and Moon was good, and then I watched Sun and Moon.
Sun and Moon's and
Um,
Sun and Moon's art style changed from the Gen 6 one, which I think was the peak of the animation style. But Gen 7 and Journeys, I think I've seen bits and pieces of it, but it's like, ugh.
okay. Yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a jump for me because I went from, I think I stopped watching it Gen 4, something like that, and then jumped to Gen 7. I was like, this is a weird art style. It kind of
Yeah.
grew on me as I watched it.
It never grew on me. It never grew on me.
That's fair. Gen 6 animation was peak. I'll have to go
Yes,
back and watch it then.
I could definitely
If
agree
that's
on
the
that.
case.
Gen
Yeah.
6 anime was also a peak. The first peak since the Gen 4 anime.
Okay. I'll give it a shot. I'll definitely give it a watch because I like Gen 6. So
I
I'm
won't
I'm
spoil
totally down for that.
Yeah, I won't spoil anything for you, but let's just say I'll only say this: Ash's new female companion is probably my second favorite.
Yeah. Okay. I'll have to give it a watch.
All right. So next up is emote elaboration. So post some emotes you got in the chat. Explain to us why they're a thing, and if so, who made them. So some of your Pokemon themed emotes. What do you got for me?
Okay. See, this is something that I absolutely love about Twitch is I love that I can have my own emotes, and I've actually learned to draw my own emotes. So
Hmm.
some of my emotes I've drawn emotes for other people. I've made um I've made like profile pictures for other people. I've really leaned into art.
Uh-huh.
Here, let me show you one that I've drawn. I've drawn this one, which is a little Scraggy. Everything that I draw is in the art style of like Pepe the Frog, which is,
Yeah.
you know,
I was like,
commonly
okay.
known on Twitch and the internet. You know,
Yeah,
I love how
Pepe.
just like goofy they look. You know, like it's just I just like I got a little zigzagoon one right there.
I
Um,
don't know how to feel about that.
um, I don't know, I have a lot of emotes that I'm very proud of. I drew this one. Yeah, I have a British flag because I'm constantly bashing the British. I am not the biggest fan of the people from across the pond.
I got a good amount of people who are across the pond.
Oh, me too. Me too. I They seem to uh gravitate towards me, which is funny. Uh, I've had people come into my stream and really enjoy my stream and want to make me emotes. Um, One of my VIPs is actually my main artist. She makes a lot of my animated stuff. She's made this. She's made some of the like that one.
Oh, cool.
Um, but they're all pretty much Pepe oriented.
Pepe Pokemon.
Yeah.
Uh, I remember
I would
watching.
say I probably have the most Pepe Pokemon on Twitch that I've seen. I
You
haven't seen
probably
anyone with more or a more diverse grouping of them.
you probably do. Ooh,
Oh
what is
yeah, yeah.
that?
Look at
What is
that
that
emote right
black
there.
voice?
See that little Dialga with the Whooper head on it? In honor of my very long Dialga hunt that's now over like 450 or 550 DAs. Just insane.
Oh, yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes.
But yeah, I love emotes. One of my favorite things. I use a lot of better TTV emotes. I'm a huge emote guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a good amount of emotes myself. These are the ones that I got that are pretty much Pokemon themed.
That's right. I love the giggle one. That's one
Yeah.
that every time I get like gifted a sub or if I use my Prime on you, I that's the one I use the most.
Yeah, a lot of people love that giggle one because like it was inspiration from the Zoroark movie where
Mhm.
the little guy's just giggling. So I was like, huh, that could make a cute emote. So we got it made as an emote, and I said, you know what, make it shiny. So
Yeah,
cool,
gotta
shiny.
make it shiny. Yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
Let's see. A callback would be Reggie Drago Luck. That's my shiny luck emote. Because fun fact, my shiny Reggie Drago was the very first shiny I ever found on stream.
Really?
Yep. That's why my luck emote is Reggie Drago, and it'll always be Reggie Drago.
That's crazy. What possessed you to go after Reggie Drago?
Because I wanted to be one of the first people to get it. But
Mm.
sadly, I mean, I guess I kind of was, but at the same time, because I didn't really integrate on social media, I didn't post that 2,221 resets. I got the Reggie Drago.
Oh wow. How quickly was that after the DLC dropped? Was it
Uh,
like the next day or like 2 days later?
Pretty much after I finished up the main story, which was I think like 2 days after.
That's impressive though. That's definitely one of the first because you got to fly through the DLC and then start doing resets immediately.
Yeah, that's kind of what I did. But also a good chunk of my emotes are themed after Obstagoon. Like I
Mhm.
just got a standard Obstagoon emote. I have one that's based on Rage, Shiny Hype, Jammin'. I got two that are Jammin'. One's a basic one, then one's like my tier three emote, which is what I call Obsta Piers, which is basically a fusion of Obstagoon and Piers. It's actually my favorite emote out of all the emotes I have. It's my favorite one.
Oh, that's
Eh,
cute. I like that one.
yeah, Shay drew that one. One of my second favorite would probably be my Zigzagoon biting onto a heart. I love that one.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's your bit one, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah, that's one of my
Yeah, that
bet
one's
ones.
so cute.
Yeah, I got this one for representing my LGBTQIA plus members for Pride. I call it Pride Tomb. I
I
got a
love
little
that.
Yeah, I
In
got a
that
Alolan.
same vein, I did a hunt for Giratina for Pride Month, which is one of
Hmm.
the clips I sent you, I believe,
Yep.
possibly.
Yep.
Um, I called it Gayratina, and
I,
someone actually
I,
sent me my artist actually sent me it was like a little PNG, and it was of Giratina, but it had like the Pride colors on it. It was sick. It became like a whole theme. It was fun, and we got it on the last day of Pride Month.
that's
It was
awesome.
perfect.
I
Yeah,
think
it's
I,
cool.
I think I introduced this emote during Pride Month, so it made it a little bit more special. You said we were talking about earlier about how you find a love for least used Pokemon,
Hmm.
Lantern. Fell in
Yep.
love with Lantern after I used it in an electric only Nuzlocke and Shield, and I literally call it Sushi, and every time I refer to Lantern, I call it Sushi because that's the
I
nickname I
love
gave
that.
it, and I love it.
I used one in my my Soul Silver playthrough
Oh,
because I
sick!
was like, "Ah, this is a cool typing. Like nobody really uses it. It's nobody talks about it. It's
It,
cute and it's useful.
if its stats were better, it'd probably be a lot more used. But
Oh,
unfortunately,
for
it's
sure.
not.
Yeah, no, it's not great, but that's okay.
Okay, so do you have or do you not have a couple of hot takes for Pokemon?
Oh yeah. Oh, I got a ton of hot takes.
Okay, well,
Um,
give me just a few of them. Give me a few of your like top hot takes that you are 100%. No one can convince you otherwise, but everyone else says you're wrong.
okay. This is one that I usually get a lot of flack for. There should be no overworld shinies in Pokemon. You should not be able to just run around and see something, especially hear it like twinkle or sparkle. Like you should not be able to see a shiny Pokemon just running around. That defeats the whole purpose of hunting for it, in my opinion. My whole thing is I like running into Pokemon and then like seeing them sparkle. It's like a surprise, or it's like if you just see it, it's like, oh wow, oh look, there it is, and you just run into it. It's
It's
so anticlimactic. It's just boring to me. I don't like it, and especially with how easy they make it to get shinies now. PLA Gen 9, it's so easy. At least in Gen 8 and BDSP, you have to like work for it. You have to put some sort of effort into it.
yeah,
That's
which is
why
one.
it's more rewarding. The more effort you put into something, the better the reward is.
It's one of the reasons I say, and I still say that Sword and Shield shinies hit differently.
They do. They do. And the fact that you can get, the box animation or the regular sparkle animation, like that's cool. Like that's a different I wish they would have kept something like that where the
Yeah,
animation looks different when you get a shiny.
I don't know if you know this, but the box animation is actually bugged and still bugged in Sword and Shield. It's supposed to
Yeah.
be the
Yeah.
most rare one, but it's actually the most
Mhm.
common. But
Yep.
it's not that way with eggs. I have, in fact,
Mhm.
gotten two shinies from eggs that are square shiny, so they're rarer.
Yeah. And then in Dynamax Adventures, there's none. They're all star shinies.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. Yep.
Yep.
But it's cool, like, and it feels rewarding when you get something like that. Whereas PLA, you just fly around and then you hear like the little ping, and then you look down and there's a shiny. It's like, oh wow, it's just I don't know. It doesn't have the same luster, especially when it's there's outbreaks and there's massive mass outbreaks, and it's so easy to get shinies. It takes away from like the excitement of it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the one hot take that I get a lot of flack for. And I know Steven, A Steven 68.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, we always go back and forth on it. He says it's great that, that they're shining the overworld and that the odds are so boosted and, but I feel like they lose value. If everyone has a shiny whatever, why would I want it? It's not rare if everyone has it, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't that like kind of decrease like the value of it, like what it means? And sure, everyone
Yeah.
has their own personal attachment to the shinies they get,
Yeah. I'm not
but
sure if
it,
it's a
it just
hot. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a hot
oh,
take or
I
not.
always get I always get pushback for it.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if it's like I'm not sure if this one's a hot take, but I do say that since PLA, shinies have lost their value over time.
100%. 100%.
At least
There's so
in at
easy to
least
get.
in those games. If you're doing like Masuda in BDSP, if you're doing just Masuda hunting in like Gen 8, 9, 10, 8, Gen 8 or 9 or BDSP, like those are shines you are working for because there's still the still base odds of like 512. But
Mhm.
in terms of like the increased odds, yeah, just like just those shinies don't hit differently. Don't hit like they used to.
No, they just don't hit the same. That's
Okay,
why I went back to Sword and Shield.
I know. That's why I still go in Sword and Shield.
Hmm.
All right, what's another one you got for me?
Another hot take. The more common, I'm sorry, the more recent Pokemon that have come out have been kind of lackluster. Like Gen 9 was bad. One of the worst Pokedexes I've ever seen. They obliterated all the starters. They all started out looking damn good. And then they just went right off a cliff as soon as they evolved. Um, I loved my little duck. And I was like, this Pokemon is so cute. Like, I can't wait to see what Quaxley turns into. And then as soon as it evolved, I put it in the box. Because it was so bad. It was so bad. I just couldn't.
I
It's
can't
an abomination.
I can't stand that fucking peacock. I can't stand it.
Oh, God. I understand what it's based off of. People try to tell me the design and why it's that way. Just get it out of here. I don't want it. Please, like, get it. It's bad.
Like
Um,
I got the I'm in love with the Fue Coco to what the fuck is Skeledirge?
yeah, yeah. I will say Skeletor is probably the best fully evolved of the three, but even then, it's like mid. It's it's okay. Um,
Yeah.
but they also missed on um. Some of them are so bad I don't even remember their names. Like, what is cloth? It's just a crab. It's just a big crab. Like, what's special about it? I know John likes it, but
I know
what
he
is
likes it.
special about cloth? It's just a big crab. There's no like special like what makes it any different from any other crab? It
I
doesn't
don't
even
know.
look like a Pokemon.
I don't know because
I
it's a
like
freaking
crabs like as
because it's a
animals.
rock. I don't know because it's a
I
rock.
I got what is Orthworm?
It's a stone crab. I don't know.
It looks like something like a kid would play with. Like a little like fidget toy. Like I don't. What is what's the dark dog that
Mastiff?
Arvin had? Mastiff. That thing's
No,
awful.
no, Mabostiff.
Mavistiff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Terrible. I hate that thing. I like Dark. Like
Oh,
it's I don't know
you
what it
hate
is. It's just not a good design.
you hate the
It
good
doesn't look like a
boy.
Pokemon. Yes. The whole time I played through that game, I was hoping he was gonna die on like some arc type shit.
Jake,
And then the
dude.
final battle where you're battling with him, I attacked it so that it died.
Jake, my dude. I mean, come on. That was like the reason why Armin's story hits differently with me is because during the time that I started playing the game, it was also
Mhm.
when Dominic, before he passed, he started getting really sick. So
I
that's
remember
why
that, yeah.
his story hits a lot differently with me.
And I'm
But
sorry to hear about both your cats, by the way.
uh, yeah, they're keeping an eye on me.
I was very sorry to hear that. As you know, I love cats. I absolutely love cats. This is my little baby Luna right here. She's sleeping.
Yeah,
I love cats. So whenever I see something like that, it breaks my heart. You know.
yeah. I got my new little boy sleeping right there.
Aw, I love that. It's so poetic. We both have our cats just right behind us.
Yeah, I mean, you could see mine over my shoulder on in your view, but they can't see it in mine because I have to turn around.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right, let's see. Do I have a hot take that I would like to share? Um, I think a lot of people who have like rule 34 or rule 43, whatever the hell that is,
Oh
I
God,
don't,
yeah,
I don't see the waifu appeal of Gardevoir. I don't. There's like, I don't understand why the fuck they call it waifu. I don't.
yeah. I don't understand it either. To be
I
honest, I don't
like,
understand the
I
I don't
don't
understand the
understand.
attraction to like. Well, I mean, this is just me. I'm not gonna, people are into whatever they're into, but I don't understand the
Yes.
attraction to something that's not a human being. You know what I mean? Like that is if it's not like a living, breathing thing. I like I can't be attracted to like pixels. The fact that
Yeah.
people will like sit there and draw like, you know, horribly graphic things on Pokemon, wild to me.
Yeah.
Absolutely wild
I
to me.
mean, I jokingly call it waifu, but I don't mean it because like I don't see
Oh no,
people's
I know.
appeal.
I
I
know
don't
you don't.
see people's appeal
Yeah.
with it. It's like, what the fuck is going on in the world of Pokemon?
I don't know. People need to go
Ugh.
outside. There's a lot of people that just need to go outside.
Yeah, touch some grass, get some good to eat,
Get some sunlight, get
get
some
some
vitamins.
vitamin C, just like I don't
Yeah.
know. Let's see, what else do I have? Let's see. Uh hmm. Hmm. What's one that I had what's one that I had in mind before the show, but I lost it. Hmm. I swear to God, I had one before the show started.
I love when that happens.
Ugh. Ugh. This may I don't know what people would hmm. Jeez, I just can't think of one right now. Jeez, what's wrong with me? Besides the whole fake waifu thing, I don't understand. I swear to God, I had one. Oh yeah, people might like. I'm one of those people that doesn't like to like have the same typing with certain legendaries. So I actually have a little bit of a sour taste for Ho-Oh simply because of its typing.
Oh, then you're gonna love the clip I sent you. I don't know if you saw it.
It's not that I hate Ho-Oh specifically. I just don't like the fact that it has the same typing as Moltres, which is an ass Pokemon, but yet we have the same typing on Ho-Oh, which is a really good Pokemon. So why not? Why did you have to copy one of the typings from Gen 1 and put it on the box art for Gen 2? Like they could. I get why
Yeah.
Ho-Oh is. I get it why Ho-Oh would be fire because it's like the sun and life and whatnot. But honest, like it's the same concept. Like they should have made Lugia water type, but they didn't.
Hmm.
They made
Yep.
it psychic. But yeah, the second Ho gets hit by a rock, it's all of a sudden, bam, it's down for the count.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, similar thing with the firefighting starters. How many of those did we get?
We have
Why do we keep getting them?
we have 3 gens in a row.
3 in a row. Like why? Pick literally anything else. Like why? Like I don't. And they got progressively worse. Do you notice that? Until
Yeah,
they got to
we
the
got kicking. We
Embor.
got well, actually, I think Blaziken and Infernape are top tier, but Embor is just
Awful. Yeah. Yeah.
maybe that's another hot take. I fucking hate Embor.
Terrible. I hate that thing too. I think John likes it, which
Like I used it
checks out.
like I used it, but at the same time it wasn't my favorite because it was still firefighting and frickin' its move pool wasn't that good, and just ugh. I
Yeah, I'm
get
not looking forward to
let's see
whatever they
yeah
give us for ZA with
yeah
Tepig.
let's see if we get a mega or
Hmm.
oh god now you hating on that boar. We're sorry, we're not appealing to you.
All right, I got a question. I got 2 questions for you
Okay,
that I thought
shoot.
of. Okay. Out of all the people that you've had on your podcast, was there someone, you have to name them, was there someone that had like really questionable taste in Pokemon? Like their taste in Pokemon was just like, what is this person talking about?
Well,
You don't have to name them
yes.
or give any hints as to who it was, but like, have you had that happen? Like, what were the Pokemon?
Well, yes, I have had them, but if I named the Pokemon specifically, I would out them.
It's gonna give it away.
So I will say that I have had guests on the show with questionable choices, at least in my mind. But at the end of the day, everyone loves what they love, so
Oh,
I
for
don't
sure.
judge
Yeah,
them
yeah,
for
yeah.
what they love.
Absolutely, absolutely. But it's always interesting to me, like when people say their favorite Pokemon is, I don't know, Bruxish, and it's like,
Okay,
why?
to be fair,
what,
to
what
be
is there to
fair,
offer there?
I have three people, and I have Cybernetic Axis, Typhlosion Tycoon, Cheesecake EXE. All three of them said they hate Bruxfish with a passion.
See, I don't hate it. Is it ugly? Yes, it's meant to be ugly. It's the Pokemon that aren't supposed to be like that and are ugly that I dislike. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean
It's
it's got
intentionally like off-putting.
I don't know. Okay, what's the second question?
um, the second question is, out of all the podcasts that you've done, um, how have you felt that you've grown as a host?
I feel I've grown quite a lot because when I first did the podcast with John, like I didn't know what the hell I was doing for the first like 10 minutes. We were like trying to figure out the audio, and it's like, what the crap are we doing
Yeah,
here?
I was there. I
And
remember.
yeah, so plus on top of that, as I've grown to adjust and adapt, I've learned how to show clips and watch them with people as we watch the show, so that way people don't have like a delayed reaction to the show. So the
Mhm.
fact that as time has gone on, I have grown to improvise or grown to improve the show for not only our viewing pleasure but for others viewing pleasure is another thing. I mean since the show started, I have integrated the hot takes thing, the emote elaboration. It's just like there's more to this show I could probably more add, but at the same time the format is good for what it is right now, so maybe over time we'll adapt the format. But I think as of now, I think it's at its solid format.
I agree. I've definitely seen a big jump from when you first started because I was there with the first one,
Yeah,
and like I'll be honest, when you invited me originally way back when,
yeah,
um, my first thought was, oh yeah, I'd love to support a friend in the community and whatnot, but then I was also like, wow, I'm gonna be one of the guinea pigs in the first season. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna get butchered on here. Mike's
well,
not gonna work, and it's
I
gonna
mean,
be there's gonna be awkward silences and stuff. But it's been very smooth, and I've seen you with other guests, and it's been very professional, and it's come a long way. It's
yeah,
it's impressive.
I got to a good solid point when I interviewed Turbo before he passed. So I feel like that podcast really, I feel like that podcast itself kicked me into overdrive and tried to make the show as best as it can be because. I mean, I don't know if you knew the true Turbo, but he was like had the biggest heart of anyone I ever met in the Pokemon community, and probably one of the biggest hearts out of anyone I've ever met in my entire life. So the fact that I try to honor him with every show, it drives me to be a better podcast host.
I love that. That's a great form of motivation.
Rest in peace, Turbo. I love you, brother. But all right, so let's actually get to what we were talking about for the last like 10 minutes, last like 20 minutes, the clips. This is the shared experiences portion, so we're gonna actually watch these clips in real time, and so you guys can see them and we can see them, and just give us some, good moments to laugh about. So this will look funky for a few seconds. Okay. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Screen that. Okay, and let me change it over here so we can see it.
Oh yeah, this is the Ho-Oh one. Yep.
Yep. I actually put them in chronological order from like oldest to newest.
Oh, okay, cool, cool.
All right. Also, this is during May the Odds, so this is also makes it better shiny.
That's right. Yes, that's right.
All right, let's take a look.
Fuck that. That's too long. Shiny Whalmer? I'll take that. Absolutely. I'd rather it be Marowak, but I'll take Whalmer. Or I could take Ho-Oh. What the fuck? Yo. Non-reactions are so good. I have some of the best non-reactions in the Pokemon community where I just don't even like... I don't even like react or yell or jump, or I just am like, oh, okay, moving on.
Like, we got me, who freaking jumps out of his seat and just goes all crazy for a shiny, but you on the other end, you're like, huh, interesting. This is cool.
Yeah. Oh, wow, differently colored.
You're like an old
Pokemon.
Yeah, you're like an old man. You're like an old man that's like, hey, I got myself a shiny. Look at that, youngsters. This is really cool. Yeah, that's a good Ho-Oh shiny. Just by the title of this clip, I know what it is, but at the same time, can you explain to me what was happening here?
Oh, so I had a brief stint of full odds hunting. I decided to use a device I have. I don't have a capture card or anything like that. But so I had to use a device to stream a real Pokemon game and shiny hunt in it. I got my Trico after resetting for I don't even know how many months on and off stream. I was like, you know what? I have my Trico. Let me go for like a shiny badge quest. So I basically said, okay, I'm gonna pick a route where I like a good amount of the Pokemon, you know, and then if I get any of these 3 or 4, I'll pick that Pokemon and move to the next route or the next gym, whatever came next. So I was, I believe, looking for Electrike, or there's one other Pokemon on the route I would have taken. Maybe it was Tailo, I don't remember. But I got the one Pokemon I didn't want. And you'll see how awful it is.
Let's see. Also, your chain gang or your chain mail has improved from the previous clip to the next. Why? Actually, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Like, why the 3 chains? Like, you got chain mail all up there, so why the 3 chains?
I don't know. I really liked chains, and I never owned any jewelry. I can't wear anything on my wrists. I can't wear rings. I can't wear like no earrings, nothing. My aunt actually got me the smallest one years ago, and I was like, I love this chain so much. And then I would wear things where it would just constantly fall underneath layers of clothing, and I never got to wear it on the outside of my clothing. So then my good friend Josh actually bought me this big, gaudy one that I can wear on the outside of my clothing, you know, so it like kind of stands out. And then my wonderful girlfriend that supports me in everything I do, got me this medium one. So most of the time I'll wear 2 of them at a time, or if I go to work, I'll wear 1, you know, or I'll switch them out. But when I'm streaming, I like to just wear them. You know, it's just part of my my style, I guess. Part of my identity. Same thing with my hat, you know.
Kind of like me with the sunglasses.
Exactly. It's like your thing.
But anyway.
Are you fucking kidding me? You've gotta be joking. I knew it immediately.
The disappointment in your eyes.
Shiny Plusle. Yeah, I was like dead on the inside. Like 4,900 encounters is not like crazy or anything, but when you spend that much time and you get fucking Plusle, like,
well,
it's so disappointing.
Well, if you want me to iterate on something, I was shiny hunting Darkrai and Regieleki for Week of Legends a few years back, and freaking like, I don't know what happened or what God hated me so much, but I wasn't even keeping track of the Regieleki resets. I got that fucking Regieleki before Darkrai during Week of Legends. Yeah, I didn't. It's so not funny though. It's not one of the clips that I'm featuring, but the fact that I got the Regieleki first for a hunt that I just picked back up versus a hunt that I've been on for over a year. What the fuck?
Listen, it's like that. If I did a different Dynamax adventure hunt right now, a different legendary, I'd get it in 10 DAs. That's just how it goes.
Maybe so. But anyway, so this is the
Speaking of DAs, this is when I
Gaiety.
actually got shinies in DAs.
Giratina you mentioned.
Yes.
So
Yeah, you see the cute little artwork that my editor Evo did for me.
I could see that.
No Tauros. No Sigilyph. Give me Cophagrigus. For the culture. Fuck. Giratina number 46 is shiny. Well, all right.
What the?
Holy shit, dude! Shiny Giratina? Hell yeah! Chat, we got Giratina on the final day of Pride Month. Isn't that crazy? We got Giratina on the final DA of the final day of Pride Month.
That's
Never
right.
say
It was the
I'm not
last
an
DA
ally.
of stream too.
That's insane.
That's right. That's right.
That is insane. I remember my friend Psychotic Gamer was doing DAs for Zygarde, and his community was like, "Do one more, do one more," and I was like, "Okay, I'll do one more." Next, on that DA, he got it. So it was like,
Yeah.
those moments will definitely get you. Those moments will definitely get you.
Sometimes it's just one more. You know.
Yep, you just need that one. You just need one more. All right, so this was my second longest on-screen hunt, where multiple people found this stupid sunburnt lion before I did, but yeah, uncompared to you, where you're nonchalant, I freaking screamed my butt off. So.
Oh, I know. Mm-hmm.
All right, demon doesn't break the curse, but will the lion? Yes! 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 The curse is
Oh my
over!
god.
It's done, baby! It's over!
Holy crap.
Woo! It's over! It's over! Demon
How many
break
how
the
many
shiny
noise complaints have you gotten throughout the years?
None.
That's impressive.
Yes! Yes! Guys! I don't even think I had neighbors at the time. I live in a duplex. I don't even think I had neighbors at the time.
Flippin' much. Oh my god, guys, thank you so much. And Bella, thank
That's
you for the
crazy,
1,000
though.
bits. Holy shit, guys.
148's not too bad, though. 148's not too bad.
But to be fair, that's the ones I counted. I didn't count the ones we failed. So I probably did about 200 or so, or maybe close to 200 before that was the official count for the ones we beat.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I got you.
Okay, so this one's kind of a funny clip. So, as you can see, I was doing the surprise lock in Violet, and I was catching like the last Pokemon for encounters that I could trade off. And don't mind the fact that my face is like face painted over or whatnot, but what the point is, this is where Scarlet and Violet's graphics really get funny. So watch this.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm excited for this.
First ball, beast on, baby. We got the last 5 Pokemon, guys. Get your switches ready. Get your switches for. Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, Top
That's
was
so
right on
funny.
ass.
That is the most
God,
Gen
that's
9 thing I've
priceless.
ever seen in my life.
Yeah, freaking giant Ursaluna just stuck up a Miraidon's ass.
He's in there sniffing.
Yeah, he's trying
Don't
to
they
sniff.
dig?
Yeah,
Are they
he's
known
the
for
one
like
that
digging? He's digging for something.
he's trying to find that treasure that he missed in PLA. Okay.
Aw.
Okay, so I don't know if you know this, but this moment made me go viral on TikTok.
Okay.
And
See.
you'll understand why once I play it. Female, please be female. What the? There we go. A shiny patch! A shiny patch! Oh my god, yes! Oh my god, please, for the love of Christ, please be female! Please be female! Please be female! Please be female! Female, please be female! 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 Please! Please! Yes! 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 Let's go! Yes! Yes! It's over! Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Yes! Yes! So
That's
can you
so
understand?
funny? Oh my god!
So can you understand why that moment went viral?
Oh yeah.
The
100%.
the sound.
Yes, the sound.
Like,
Yep.
I don't care why moments go viral for Twitch streamers. Just the sheer fact that a moment of mine went viral under any context is great. So I don't care if I went viral because I freaking did a backflip and I landed smack dab on my face, or if I kill a shiny legendary because I was hunting it for so long. A moment goes viral because it goes viral. So me screaming, please be female, was all it took.
Publicity is good. Yep.
Yeah.
Any publicity is good publicity.
Yes. All it took was me screaming, please be female, at the top of my lungs to go viral on TikTok. And like, oh my god.
That's
Seriously.
so funny too.
For months, my notifications on TikTok were 99 plus every day.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, for
I love that.
months.
That's a great clip.
For months. Okay, so let me ask you this: have you ever been to GoFest?
Yes, I've actually been.
Okay. So give me some of your experiences with GoFest and how being a Twitch streamer meant to you, that you were able to meet your community members through Pokemon, and you get to meet them in IRL through GoFest. So give me some of your experiences with GoFest, whether it was just being a casual fan or a Twitch streamer. Give me the juicy bits.
It was actually pretty crazy. Because you stream and people come in and they, however they find your stream, it's kind of, random. Say someone just randomly clicks on your stream. It's crazy that them just clicking on your stream somehow leads to you making a friendship and then meeting the person, like, in person. Like, it's so wild, the connection between, like, the internet and, real people. Because sometimes people come on your stream and, like, you don't always think of them as like that's a real person. And then you meet them and it's like it's so wild to me. So GoFest has allowed me to do that a bunch. I've met a lot of people that I've never thought I'd meet. Some people that have meant a lot to me. I've made some great friends that I've flown out to Colorado to meet Josh. Like that was like, that's crazy. Like I stayed at his house and everything. Like, it's wild to me. And the fact that I had a meetup and I had people come to my meetup to meet me. Like the fact that people wanted to meet me. Like that's crazy. Like that's so cool. That is so cool to me. But it's fun. Like you walk around with a bunch of your friends and you're all enjoying the same hobby together and everybody's excited for everybody. It's such a good time. It's such a good time. If you haven't gone, I totally recommend it.
Well, because I'm not a Go player, I'll probably never go to GoFest, but I have had experiences where I have met people IRL be through Twitch. Some of them were pretty good. Some of them were kind of weird, but overall, we're not going to discuss that, but I know you had an incident with the.
I'll talk about it if you don't mind.
Nah, I mean that's kind of a subject that we don't want to talk about here on the show. But I know you've had some mix-ups with some fans, so I'm not gonna let you bury that. I'm not gonna let you bury that laundry on stream again. But but yeah.
I mean, I've had other encounters besides the one that you're thinking of.
Yeah,
I've had other encounters where I don't know. People are weird. People are very weird.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say.
I've gone out of my way to meet people before, and it's strange. It's uncomfortable. Because people can talk through a Twitch chat, but then as soon as you meet them in person, they're completely different.
Yep.
So you kind of never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag, but I'm lucky. I'm lucky enough that the people I have met, they're just the same as they are online than they are off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like biggest example I got, the group of friends that I had before my mind went to shit, and they're no longer part of my life anymore. I met them IRL for the first time, and it was just a absolutely amazing experience. I had the most fun that I had in years, and the sheer fact that these people brought us, this little group of people were brought together through Twitch, and we got to hang out IRL for a few days. It just meant a lot. Yeah. Then meeting a few other friends that I have through Twitch, and seeing them a few times over the course of the year, it's just a really really great experience just to see these people IRL, and just it just boggles my mind still that such a little thing as hitting a live button and going and live streaming to people can lead to some of the most amazing people you have ever met in your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So, usually by this point in the show, we would talk about the most recent Pokemon news, but the fact is, there really hasn't been much news since the newest trailers for ZA have dropped.
Nothing.
So, what I would like to ask you is, what are you looking forward to the most with Legends ZA? And what are you hoping for that has not yet been revealed?
The Pokédex. I'm looking forward to. I'm a Pokemon guy. I don't really care about the gym leaders or the graphics, or really I want to see cool Pokemon. I'm here for like the Pokemon themselves. I don't care what movesets they have. If they have something interesting, that's cool. But I'm there for like the Pokemon designs. I want to see what kind of crazy stuff they can draw up. So that's 100% what I'm looking forward to. And I'm waiting for any leaks to come out because I want to see them.
Well, I'm not, so I'm not going to look at the leaks. But what do you?
That's fair.
So, like, out of everything that's been introduced so far, what are you looking forward to the most?
I think like the battle mechanics, where it's not exactly the same as Legends Arceus. And like the mechanics where you can like creep up on a Pokemon or creep up on a trainer, and you know, stuff like you can kind of put the exactly.
But the hurt, like we can finally hurt them before they want to hurt us.
Exactly. Like it adds like a fun little like element of surprise, So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the battle system. I'm actually looking forward to the Zygarde cells. The Zygarde cell search, because I honestly really liked it in Sun and Moon, so I'm really looking forward to ZA. I'm not gonna try and look at Cerebi to see where they all are. I want to see if I can find all of them by myself, which will probably be a pain in the butt, but I'm gonna try my damnedest to see if I can find all 100 Zygarde cells by myself, and the cores wherever the hell they may be.
That's good. That's good.
Let me ask.
It'd be fun though.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So let me ask you this. You saw the trailers. What do you think of the fact? What do you think, or what is your opinion on the fact that ZA is now running a hotel of all things? Like the guy lives for 3,000 years and finally gets reunited with his Floette just to go run a hotel. Like, why?
Yeah, I don't get that. But I know they wanted to like keep him in the story. You know what I mean? It was a big part of Gen 6, so they want to keep him in, ZA just to kind of I don't know. I think they just put him in a corner. Like, oh, here he is over here. Like this is the guy from the original. Like they almost lazy with it, which is what they do with a lot of stuff.
Well, I guess they kind of are putting him in the corner, but I know he's going to play some major role in the game, so
yeah, let's just see that too. But his main job is just like something they threw together. Like, oh, we'll just make a hotel and he's part of the hotel or whatever.
We'll see. Uh, what is also your opinion on the fact that now our rival is based on the gender you pick at the beginning of the game? Like I
I
think
like
if
that.
you, yeah, I think like I think if you pick the guy trainer, you get the girl, but if you pick the girl trainer, you get the guy. So I don't know. Like, what do you
Well,
think about that?
Gen 3 had that, no?
Yeah, you're right. They did have that. Actually, yeah, that's just a product. That's just a product of they're doing something they haven't done in a long time. I don't know
Yeah.
why I didn't think
And
about that.
and
I
I
don't know why
like
I
Gen
didn't
3,
think.
so I'm cool with that. And it gives you like, your own separate journey. You can kind of pick it's one more customizable part of your journey.
Yeah, I got nothing against it. I was just thinking that they have, like there's something that I was like, huh, this is something interesting. But then now as I'm talking to you, it's like, what do you know? This is something they haven't done in a long time. I don't know. That's cool. Okay. All right. So the final topic we'll talk about is: are there, aside from you trying to finally break out of Dialga hell, what are some future plans that you have for streaming or streaming related endeavors?
I've wanted to branch out into possibly like different games just until Pokemon drops. Kind of broaden my horizons, see how things do. Sometimes you throw stuff at the wall and you see what sticks.
Uh huh.
Um, I definitely now that it was mentioned in your chat by Justin, I definitely need to play through Sun and Moon. I think that's on my to-do list because I've never done it. I may as well.
I
And I'll
recommend you.
play it.
I recommend you just skip Sun and Moon and go to Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon because bigger
Okay, yeah, I can do
Pokédex,
that.
bigger
Yeah.
Pokédex, basically the same story but improved and a much better boss fight.
hmm Okay, I will absolutely keep that in mind. I'll just put it on the emulator and run it that way.
Yeah, that's what I do with most of my old streaming endeavors.
hmm
We gotta hydrate. Any other things you want to spill the beans on, or is that it?
that's pretty much it. I mean, I have more like physical ideas. Like I have a whole. There's a lot you can't really tell, but there's a lot of space behind me with like stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still have my whiteboard. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. I like little gimmicks and stuff. I might get like a little basketball hoop where I could just toss Yoshi into it. It's fun little stuff like that. But I definitely want to branch into like other games. I like doing like community streams where we do like marbles. People love to do that. It's creates funny moments and really gets everybody like involved in it. It's a good time. So I'm trying to find more things like that.
Yeah, I hear you there, man. I haven't really formally announced this yet, so I kind of teased it on my Twitter and Blue Sky, but I haven't actually formally announced it yet. But guys, I missed out on going to Worlds, but you will see the Duke of the Back Alley at NAIC.
Nice, hell yeah.
I'm
Sounds
going
like
to
a
New
good
Orleans. I'm going to New Orleans for NAIC. So if any of you guys think about going, you can meet me there. I'm not going as a formal creator because my badge got rejected, but I am going to be going there as a spectator. So you will see me June. Let's see, what were the dates on that again? You'll see me June 13th through the 15th at NAIC.
Sounds like a good time though. I'm sure you're gonna have fun down there.
Yeah, I'll try my damnedest. I mean, my pass is bought. My flights are booked. I just gotta pair up with somebody at a hotel so we can save on costs. But other than that, I am good and ready to go. But
Nice.
but for streaming endeavors, I'm currently going through my platinum randomizer, which is actually my second attempt. Because the first attempt, I don't remember what happened to it because it was back before when, I took a hiatus. So I just decided to refresh the whole run. And sometime this year, I want to try and do that Dark Lock I talked about earlier in Heart Gold Soul Silver. And I want to do my first Soul Link. So hopefully we can get that off the ground.
Nice.
But other than that, I just want to keep doing what I'm doing. and interview more people as I go and find more awesome nerds to have on the show. So that's pretty much what I got in store.
You definitely got to get Josh on here. You got to get the third Sevi boy.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. So Josh is definitely in my recruit pool. So we'll see if we get him on the show soon.
That'd be cool.
So I just did some funky thing in OBS for some reason.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'll fix that later. But all right. So before we kick off here, Jake, rule of thumb is the guest chooses the raid. So who are we raiding into today? You can choose whoever you want. Doesn't
Ooh.
you can choose whoever you want.
I know someone that I really like to raid, and I'm sure you know who this is.
Who?
Mr. Arkenrai. You know Arkenrai?
I think I know them by name. I don't think I've raided into him before.
I definitely recommend. I love. His name is Paolo. He's a very sweet man.
You said Arkenrai, right?
Yeah, Arcanrai.
Yeah. I think I know them by name. I just never raided into him before.
Okay.
So yeah, we can definitely raid him.
Nice. I know he'd appreciate it.
Okay. I got him selected. Okay, so members of chat, if you are subscribed to the Poké Network Twitch channel, you can use this raid message. If you are not subscribed to the Poké Network channel, you can use this raid message. All right, I'll give you guys a moment to copy and paste those before we officially start the raid. But before we kick off here today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you again, Jake, aka ItsYellowSnow, for taking the time out of your day to let me pick your brain on what makes you the PokeNerd you are. And thank you again for being an awesome, amazing guest for PokeNERDS Inc. I'm glad we finally got you on the show, Mr. Never Check Your DMs.
I'm glad I was finally able to come on. I had a lot of fun today, and thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yep, we're happy to have you. We are happy to have you. All right, so is there a normal raid message you like to give out at the end of stream before you officially kick off your live stream?
I do, but we could use yours. I like yours.
No.
I like
Use
the little Pika ramen.
No. Use yours, and then I'll use mine. Then I'll say the formal outro.
Beth, can you grab it for me real quick? Beth is one of my mods.
Oh.
Beth, can you grab me the raid message real quick?
No. I mean, like, is there something you like to say to end off like an outro?
Oh, like an outro. Oh, like an outro. I was like, I didn't know what you were talking about.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Is there like an outro you like to use?
I usually just say peace, and I throw up a peace sign right as I end.
Yeah.
You gonna do it with me?
We could do that, but before I like to say thank you again for choosing the back alley as a place to hang out today. Stay safe, stay strong. I'll see you on the next one. Take care, you nerds. But in honor of the True Turbo, I like to remind you guys to stay safe, stay rockin', stay true to yourself. I will see you guys in a few more weeks for another episode of PokeNERDS Inc. But from all of us here at PokeNERDS Inc., we like to say thank you for tuning into this podcast. You can catch it again on YouTube later this week. But until then, from all of us here at PokeNERDS Inc., bye-bye. Peace out, y'all.
Peace.